Hey everybody, we are live. We are live. This is part deux. I named it part deux. We are here again for Love is Blind Denver. Okay. Denver is giving us all kinds of stuff. Please put a one in the chat if we are better, if we are okay. Please put a one in the chat if you can hear and it is way better for you. Okay. I really do appreciate it. Okay, please put a one. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming back to us. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for telling me I'm choppy because I don't feel it and I don't hear it. I think I'm wonderful all the time. All the time, unless you tell me otherwise. Perfect. No choppiness. Thank you. We need to do a testing. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for coming back. No choppiness. I'll have to delete that reoccurring thing. This was the studio I did France. So they're telling me something. I need to stick to the France side of the world. And we're going to talk about folks. But thank
Oh my
y'all.
goodness.
Ooh, I know. Y'all blowing my wig back. So you were continuing to say about when you have a mom or you were raised similar to Edmund, and we're saying this in and out of foster care. We're not going to guess what mama's issues are. We know folks who may have had experiences like Edmund. Okay, we know folks who may have had that experience. Please tell us, Trey, more thoughts on that because I saw Edmund was not exuberant. Edmund was quiet. Edmund was attentive. Edmund, as Sam said, was demure and mindful.
Edmund, my word for it, when I saw it, it was conditioning. Edmund either a combination of conditioning himself or has been conditioned to shut down whenever his mom comes around. Or he's in that type of environment. Because he did not look relaxed at all, actually. Like he looked a bit on edge. I didn't see calmness. There was no calmness there. It was quietness. There was no when you're go ahead.
You're better. Yes, you're right. It was quiet. It was still. That was much better for what he was. He was still.
See, because when you're calm, you tend to be a little bit more laid back and just, looking and, you may even, add a few words here and there. But if you notice, as soon as she showed up after the hug happened, as soon as she started talking, while they were just walking, talking, he didn't say a word after that. Ever again. None. In the conversation. That's strange. Even when you notice some of the conversations, when she started to get erratic, if that was me, I would be trying to cover for my mother. Like, okay, hold on, say a few things, cover it, smooth it out. No, he just shut down completely shut down. It was very interesting. So I was like, what is going on here? Like, what's happening? And it just flashed back to what he said to Calabria in the past and how his family life was. And I'll put it to you this way. What he iterated in the past, the little bit that he did, to me, it seemed like his mother wasn't even acknowledging any of that. The way she was telling it, she was the greatest mom on earth. And I'm like, okay, these two don't match up. So how she viewed things in her mind is a slight bit askew. I'll just use that word. It's askew. So it was very telling. It was just very telling.
Yeah. Let's talk about it all. Welcome in. Welcome back in. Yes, it was a trauma response. Definitely. Yes, just Rhonda 01. And y'all, if y'all are into the Bell Collective, the Housewives, and Housewives of Potomac are trading bracelets, not the bling bling kind. Okay, they're getting arrested. Please go to just Rhonda 01's channel for all of that good stuff and recaps. Okay, that is that's family in these YouTube streets. Okay, he was afraid to react the way he is when he is with other people. He's afraid to act like that around his mama. That don't work. That ain't the best kind of behavior. I wonder you know, him being with Calabria and going into that cupboard and all that, is that just him just being overly free, Trey? Overly free to be himself and just wild out?
Honestly, it's childlike. Like, listen, I used to get in cabinets when I was 9, 10. It was fun. I had a great time getting up under the cabinet. I was down there trying to hide the stuff, but I was a kid when I did that. You know, when he started doing that, I was like, yo, he's somewhat regressing. He's exploring the places like, oh, this is great. Oh, like, can I fit in here? Let's see if I can fit in here. Like, it was childlike. I was like, oh my God, he's a man child. You throw around them terms at times. No, this is it. He's a man child. You know, he's had to grow up someplace as his own man in the world, but in many other areas, he's still a child.
But is it because maybe he did not get a childhood?
That's partially of it. That is partially of it. Yes, Rhonda. I was told to get my behind at the cabinet when I was a kid. Okay, that's the key word. When I was a kid, this is a grown man. So even if he is a man child, you have to be careful talking to a grown man in that manner. I don't care who you are. Like, what are you doing? Like, and that's my other part about KB. The more and more this goes along, the more and more she's talking to him childlike, like a mother. Problems.
Yeah, and his mama ain't, you know, truth, you know, be told based on his behavior, his mama ain't like KB. It doesn't elicit the same response. If she is trying to be mothering, or we're seeing mother child, you know, and with all this, y'all, you know, Edmund played football. He played on a D2 football team. Okay, so he was a cornerback. Cornerbacks have intelligence. Okay, I'm not going to say this man ain't highly intelligent. He has some, you know, bachelor degrees. He's educated, but it's the emotional response, the behavior and regulation that I kind of side eye this. Okay, side eye this definitely. Okay, he definitely not ready to be married. His mom should have seen that.
The boy is not stupid, not even close. What we're saying is he hasn't, growing up, you can tell he hasn't had the chance to develop some social cues that most teenagers develop, or young kids, teenagers develop when they're young. It seemed like it was either skipped out or he didn't have time to really get into those because of what he was going through in his childhood. The really kicker for me is, like, I wish we could have met some of his brothers.
I hope the brothers are at the wedding. I hope the brothers are at the wedding. I just need to see how they behave and react.
You know, I was wondering that. Like, okay, that would have told me something, a lot more than his mom showing up. You know. Yeah, actually, when they said his mom was showing up, you notice they didn't even say it was going to be his mom. They didn't. They never went until he actually opened the door and you see his mom. I went, wait a minute. Hold on. They knew what they were doing. Okay? They knew what they were doing. I was like, oh, man. Especially after what he said in the past. I was like, no, this is a setup. It's set up because at first she was okay. But the more she started talking, I was like, oh, no, she's getting a little too free with herself. She started, starting to say certain things that's not looking, somebody catch her. I'm sitting there like, oh, somebody catch her, please. It seems, we've used this word before when it comes to Edmund this season. It seems very exploitation.
Yes.
Exploiting some deep trauma issues for views here. For viewership, for rating.
It's exploiting Edmund, and then it is putting someone like KB in a very unsettling, to me, unsafe environment. Because while KB was sitting there observing Edmund and his mother, I felt tension. I felt tension because maybe I'm projecting, but I was like, I did not feel safe. Not saying that they were going to jump the table or anything, but I didn't feel emotionally safe. I was like, there was too many things going ding, 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 ding. And even mama just, saying like, why y'all using this spoon for this syrup? It was just mom go nitpick everything. Not go nitpick everything. And yes, it did explain everything. Just Angela, I wish we could meet everybody's parents ahead of time. And we did meet some parents here, and there are people's parents we did not meet, and I think that's significant too. But yes, Mama has been influencing and destroying previous relationships. I totally agree, and I wonder if she hasn't done that to the brothers. I want to know how the brothers ended up married and if they got kids.
Yeah, I'm wondering. You know what? I'm getting a sneaky suspicion the brothers maybe not they may not be as bad as Edmund. Because I think they're older brothers, correct?
We don't know where Edmund falls in line. We don't know. We
I'm
don't
trying to
know.
think.
I can't remember him saying he only has older brothers.
For some reason it feels like older brothers.
It feels like it. It does, and it may be because of his childlike behavior. And yes, Tiff, welcome in. I'm guessing based on the name, it's your first time here. Welcome in. Mom was negging KB. You ain't gonna tell my son on me, right? You ain't gonna do this, right?
Yeah.
I know you know, and oh yeah, I looked at your Instagram, girl, and no, we said no. Mama was testing.
She was.
Trey, you know when people roll up on you in the street, they're testing your mettle.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna ask the question: was KB actually clocking everything for real? For real? I know she was clocking some of it, but was she really clocking? Because
I think she clocked it on the return. I don't think initially she was clocking it. When she came back in the room and she said, "Oh no, your son don't need to know everything." That's when I was like, "Okay, KB, the watch starts ticking."
Honestly, I'm not the craziest fan of KB because I look at a little side eye, just a little side eye. It's just me. I'm not on her or anything, but there's certain things that she does. I'm like side eye. But I didn't actually have concern for Katie, and I mean concern of her actual I'm having a mind blank. Her actual reasonings for being here, going through this, and when you made that statement, when the mom said, I don't need to tell my husband everything, I went, for some odd reason, the alarm bells went off in my head as a red flag. Why are you saying the very thing that his mom is wanting you to hear? She wants to hear that, number one. Number two, do you actually believe in that? Because I'm like, whoa, that's a little concerning here. Like, what do you mean? First, okay, hold on. Before I get into weeds with this, everyone should probably, even in a marriage, you're gonna have your own thoughts, your own personal feelings, whatever. Sometimes you might not share that with your spouse, and that third. But it's a thing when you're dealing with parents, mother-in-laws and stuff, and they start telling you things. Listen, I've been in this situation when my ex-mother-in-law says things to me. I'm sorry. I gotta report this back to my wife. I can't honestly, just for self-preservation, I can't be in a situation it come out and I knew about it and I ain't say nothing.
Well, I'm gonna ask Edmund this. Did Edmund in that moment, even if jokey, like, Mom, why are you gonna ask my wife to keep things from me? I would have, said that.
That's my first thought. I was like,
because my belief is that it's your parent or your side of the family. You need to state, you need to protect this relationship from your side of the family. I'm gonna protect it from my side of the family. We gonna come together. Now I have not done that, Trey, with my ex mother-in-law. She and I used to be running around together. I would just keep my mouth shut. I would go back to my husband and say something. Well, how are we gonna deal with this? How are we gonna handle this? How are we gonna come together with this? Because this is what's gonna pop on. And sometimes, he'll be like, here's how I'd rather you handle my mom or whatever, or I say this is how I'm gonna handle it. Because that's your mom. But again,
exactly. Like, I understand trying to have a good relationship with the in-law. That's important. It is. But at the end of the day, i.e., that's not your husband, i.e., that's not your wife. You're married to who you're married to, not their mother or father. So, you are here keeping secrets. It's almost like you setting up it's like you're installating a constitution of lies already. Hidden truths, secrets.
But let's move it along with KB and Edmund. You saw another time this episode or these series of episodes where Edmund got quiet again. Edmund got demure and mindful again. When KB was showing her displeasure to him and not even letting him get a word in edgewise.
Yeah.
Now, when someone is trying to either explain a difference of opinion, your loved one, I have no problem with you starting off with, hey, remember, I love you. We're going to be talking about a sensitive topic, but please remember, I love you. Why would you cut the man off, and when he starts to say, hey, I love you, let's talk about this. He said, I don't want to talk about that. I just want a solution. And he got quiet.
Look, it looked eerily the same. It looked eerily the same, and that bothered me so bad. I was like, I do feel like something may have happened between them before they got to that party. A discussion or something was said, because it did seem like KB was on one the entire time that they got there. I was like, what's going on here? They come in, energy is already a little off. She looked standoffish. Edmund, when he got around other people, started being the Edmund we kind of know, talking, laughing, trying to have a good time. But it seemed like she was looking for something to be upset about. I was like, what's going on with KB? This is before he said, what Nick said about, to Anna. And he was like, oh, that sounds nice. Honestly, that's all he said. Wow, that sounds nice. It'd be nice to hear that. That's it. And she just went off. I was like, whoa, relax. What's going on with you? Hold on. He ain't called names. I mean, we can try to infer, but he didn't say no names. Yeah, let's be honest. She could say what she want to. At least from the editing that we saw, I haven't heard too many nice things since she's met Edmund. Not really.
Well, she's like, she likes him, and she, I care about you. That's why I'm still here. We hear that.
That's regular. We'll be talking about it. That ain't whatever.
Ooh, he said that's regular.
Yes, that's regular. That's regular.
And ladies, just to let you know, okay, you may have an argument with the man, and he ain't gonna remember what it is by the time y'all get to the car.
Oh no, we remember. We just don't want to deal with it. And if we're gonna be honest, let's be honest. We remember. Any man tell you that, nah, he like, listen.
Breaking news. They remember.
I'm sorry, fellas. You gotta be able to stand on your feet with this. Like, let's be honest. Okay. We remember. We know. I know if our woman is actually upset or not. But most men like peace. So what we're gonna do? Anything that we have to do to keep some type of peace, if we gotta bring it up, I'm gonna act like I forgot about it. Nah, don't want to hear it. No, we ain't even talk about that. Because I know if you want to talk about it, we're gonna have to get into our feelings. And God's honest truth, you probably don't want to hear what I actually feel about it. because it's going to make you even more upset. And I don't want you upset. I want solutions to smooth this over so we can move forward. But if I ask you to say what I feel in the moment, you're going to be a little upset. It's an age-old thing. You play this. We all been around this earth for a few times. Okay, let's keep it real. I think you love your husband, but let's be real. Sometimes he get on your goddamn nerves.
I have to plead the fifth because Mr. Elsid been running through the chat lately.
And that's a perfect response.
But you know what? He's not on my goddamn nerve today. So how about that?
That's even a better response. Proves my point. Now here's the thing, and I'm sorry, ladies, I have to say this. This is what it's easier for women to say that to men than for men to say that to women. Because if I say, you know what, she on my goddamn nerves today. Now, if it's really over something that's serious and that she feels like it's serious, that's going to hurt her. She's going to be upset. Her mind is going to start spinning. And she's going to pull some of the same thing these women's going in this episode. Every chick was trying to crash out about something. Every chick on this episode, these last few episodes, especially 8 and 9, was trying to crash out about something. And some of it was like, okay, why? Why?
To go to Africa, why we having criticisms of KB? Because she knows what she got now. She knows what she got now, and we believe she's playing the game. She could end this at any time.
She should have ended this.
She should have ended it.
That's
all the way back.
Honest, if you want to show true compassion and empathy with somebody that you know is not going to work with you because they have some type of issues on their own that you are not equipped to deal with, why are you dragging this all along through to do what? No. This is where
we had the same criticisms of Clay with AD.
Exactly.
Same issue. And not saying AD have behavioral problems, but why are you dragging this woman along, dragging this out, and then embarrass her at the altar? Yes, that is where you're supposed to give your answer, but we know people tell each other, they give each other hints and clues or whatever. But we dragged Clay all the way to the other side of the altar when he did this. So again, that's what we have criticisms for her. But yes,
why I couldn't be on the show.
Yeah,
why I couldn't be on the show.
Right. I would have to be playing, and we would have to be playing together.
Yeah. Because if I'm
we
not
would have to
feeling
know
it,
we're playing.
If I'm not feeling it, or even if I would tell you if we say I met KB at the reveal, things seem to go right. First thing I would tell her, listen, this is still a new process for us. We've only known each other 10 days. At any point, I'll probably do this offline, but at any point you feel like you really can't do this, please don't be afraid to tell me up front and offhand, and we can just end this together.
Right.
And I would do the same. And
my thing is, I would be playing along. I'll be like, hey man, we gonna make this all the way to the altar, but we gonna be a no. It's a no for me, dog. But we gonna play. Like when you went into the cupboard, I'm gonna put the trash can there and kind of play like I'm sneaking away. We gonna play and play it up for the camera, but everybody gonna know and see it's real goofy. And I'm not gonna play like I'm really into this. But she could be. Again, this is an edited show. So I'm watching both of them. I am seeing KB as being the replacement for Ashley from Love is Blind DC. What they wanted Ashley to be, the replacement for AD as the new darling. I'm thinking they're prepping KB up to be that. I'm sorry. She
I just say this to go to Africa.
Go ahead.
Oh, to go to Africa, I feel what you're saying. I understand that. But let's just take what you just said and put in proper context. He is not a case study. You are not at work. This is supposed to be for a relationship to build a marriage off of. And the fact that she's treating this like a case study is even worse.
Ever?
Now, some of this, even she said herself in the pause, the one negative thing she said about herself, which we are seeing, she has a tendency of trying to fix projects, fixing people, and is playing it out here. I think in the beginning, she thought she could fix that. But it's looking like, no, this might be outside of my wheelhouse.
Right. I mean, within her wheelhouse, what she is doing correctly is telling him not to compare, not to want somebody else's relationship. But I didn't think that's what Edmund was saying in that moment. And they may blame it on the alcohol, but I don't think he was saying in that moment. He was expressing, oh, that's nice. I would, that's something I'd like to hear as well. But she wasn't there at the time. He didn't even know she was within earshot to say he was kind of throwing shade at her, to say he's throwing, a little bit of, I wish you would do this for me at her. He wasn't even aware she was there. He was just like, oh, I just said that. And it's the way he repeated it. I just said that that was nice to hear. It went straight into child mode.
Where did she even come from? Because she wasn't even around there. And she just popped up. I went, where'd she come from?
She just walked over. She just walked over.
Why was she listening that hard?
She knew he was up to something. We know, Trey.
She can't. What'd you say? What was that? Like, okay, all right. Go back. See, yeah, it could have been me. I'll be like, you know what? Just go back over there. Have a good time with the ladies over there. We just having a discussion over there. You good. But yeah. I'll be like, you know what? Sometimes it's a little difficult for me because listen, I don't mind discussing things with my woman about any topic. But what we're not going to do is have an argument. We're going to be yelling at each other. We're adults, okay? No. Now, if you start giving me energy, biting this and that and third, now this is one of my feelings. I might start giving you the same energy in return.
Not in public.
I would try my best not to, but remember, if you're trying to bite at me in public, what are we doing? Now you're trying to embarrass me. So guess
that's
what?
why I said don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. We're gonna talk on the ride home.
I talk about, yes, let's go talk about it in the car. Which I hate that. I hate the rides because you can't go nowhere. You just stuck there. Especially when I'm driving. I'm like, you know what? Oh.
That's why we do it, Trey. You're stuck.
I know.
You're stuck.
No. I'm like, you know what? We are in this. You know what? Now, I ain't gonna lie. I usually don't do this, but I have shut down to just stop the conversation because I knew I'm not dumb. I can see where this conversation is going. You are itching for a fight. And honestly, it's usually a fight that you ain't really prepared for.
No.
You just want to fight.
Exactly. Just want to stretch.
You're like, nah. And I'm driving. No, we ain't doing this. Okay? Yeah. We're not doing this. Especially, it does depend on what it's over.
Right.
It does depend on what it's over.
We can spend half the day on them, but we have other couples. Anything else you wanted to say about KB and Edmund for this week?
I'm actually praying for them, both of them.
I'm praying for them rollerblades.
You know what? Let's see Edmund happy. Put some rollerblades on. Put that boy outside and let him go skate around a little bit.
Okay. So speaking of since we're talking about, wait till we get home to have a little chitty chat. Okay, since we're talking about that, how about this one? Because we don't have to talk when we get home. Because what I'm hearing in the bathroom and what you telling me in the pods and outside ain't the same. And Trey, you're gonna have to dig deep and tell us because Anton is in, transportation logistics. He works overnight. Yeah. When he comes home, he needs a couple beers and an unseasoned steak with some eggs, like sunny side up or just lightly over easy.
Now you got to see your food, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Allie hip checked that man to tell him move to the other counter. Allie wants it her way or no way. I don't see this happening. I don't see
Nope.
it going any further. I need to have my Botox. I don't want to tell you where my money's going, how much I'm spending the money. I'm going to take your money. But I heard you like going to strip club with your friend.
Over a year ago, that is. But okay.
I heard you like, well, the girlfriend says it's only been 4 months. And then
Man,
you're moving in after 4 months, but she only been in Denver for a year. That's why we didn't hear too much about them, because we don't know how long they've been living in Denver.
just true. You know what? It's funny. Two things. First thing was, wow, it really be your own people. But then again, she really not his own people. He was this guy, he was people's girl. Like running her mouth. And then at one point, you could tell the girlfriend knew she messed up and tried to cover it up. I'm like, nah, this is crazy. And then she give him attitude when you come out the bathroom. He's like, what's going on? We'll talk about it when we get back home. You notice they never talked about it.
We never saw them talk about it. I'm sure Allie don't seem like the type of woman that going to let it go.
But the way they're playing it, I think they're going to play it in the next episode that comes out. They got on different shirts, this and that and third. It's almost like a different day. When did you finally bring it up? Nah, see, now this is a prime example of Anton. If this was real, when they got home, he should have kept pressing like, what the heck going on? Because he knew something was up. He knew something was up. But what did he do? He was like, you know what? Peace, peace, peace. I ain't got time.
Can we get some shots over here? Can we get some shots?
I didn't bring it up. She bring it up. Okay, I'm not doing it. He don't want it. We just talked about it now. See, prime example. He's not because he know it's about to be some mess. It's about to be some mess. But it was funny. Honestly speaking, I'm be honest with you. I'm not trying to be mansplaining or be on the man's side with this, but when I heard everything how it was done, I was like, this is really not that bad. Why are you tripping? What's going on here? What's happening? Because even if you change up the timelines on it, it sounds like within the last 4 months, everything's been really chill. Right. So the last time he been to the strip club was 4 months ago?
Because his buddy couldn't go with him? Is that what we're saying? Because Joseph couldn't go with him?
Either way, he ain't been in 4 months.
But keep in mind, we haven't met her family and we haven't met Anton's family.
I don't think we're going to. I don't think their families don't live.
We do video chats. We are in 2024 at this time. We could do video chats.
You could.
We could translate the video chat.
Maybe they did, or it wasn't enough for them to put on TV. Who knows?
But what, Trey, I would get annoyed like Allie. I'm going to have to be on Allie's side with this. If you're coming home every day and having a couple of beers every day.
Okay. What's the problem?
It's morning time. It's morning.
Is that the red issue? Because in the morning, I work third shift. I can't drink before I go to work. So when can I drink?
But you come home and it's 2 beers.
2? Oh, we complaining about 2. Because according to the law, 2 beers is at the minimum. So what are we talking about here?
I don't like the smell of beer or beer breath.
Okay, I won't kiss you in the morning.
Golly,
I give you a kiss before I start drinking.
I guess it's 6 o'clock somewhere, but I would be annoying. I would be annoyed.
The only thing we've heard is when Anton comes home, he has his 2 beers, then he goes to sleep. So all this strength throughout the day, I don't know where that came from. We never heard that. All we heard was he has his 2 beers, and then he goes to bed because he's been up all night.
Yeah, he has his beers, breakfast, and bed. He has the 3 Bs.
Boom. Good. He probably won't get up till early afternoon.
But the drink is what made you not even turn around and look at me at the reveal. The drink is why I didn't even get my ring at the reveal.
No, it ain't. What are we talking about? How's that?
You were more concerned with your drink than me.
When?
At the reveal.
What reveal? Oh, he did say he wanted a drink, didn't he?
No, he went back to his area and was sippy sip with his back to her. He forgot to even give her the ring.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, you got me on there. I wanted a little drink. Yeah, you're right. He can't have beers before he go to work. It's impossible. So he got to drink some point in time. So it's going to be in the morning. I'm God's honest truth. Her real issue is, and honestly, it's a little weird, but I guess that's her. And I get it. Her real issue is, and she brought it up. She has an issue with him going to strip clubs at all. Period.
I don't get that. Is it because I know
I
strip
don't
club life?
get it. I don't know what aversion she has towards it or what's going on. To me, it's a. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't been to a strip club in years.
I plead the fifth.
But I haven't been in years because I don't need to go. But when I have gone, I've gone and had a good time.
It's not a need. I mean, it's
definitely
a
not a
place
need
for entertainment. It's not a need.
And I know it can't be a need. It can't be a need for him because whatever time period you want to follow, he said he hasn't been in a strip club in over a year. According to the girlfriend, Ashley, yeah, she did say, up until when he started dating her, they were going to the strip club regularly or whatever, but they were single men. She made a point to say when they weren't single, they didn't go.
Okay.
She said that, but for some odd reason, Allie just heard in her head, "Oh God, strip club? No, that's terrible." Okay, so what's your issue with it? It sounds like a personal thing. What's your issue with the strip club?
It sounded like, it sounded very personal. It sounded like, oh my God, I can't be with a man that goes to the strip club. I don't understand. And I'm agreeing with you, just Rhonda. There's some regular clubs that are worse than a strip club.
Exactly.
Strip club has rules. Strip club has rules. Right. Thank you, Sam. A strip club is simply entertainment.
Now, if you want to get on, and I don't think she, I think this is really what's it, but I don't think she has the evidence to bring it up yet because she doesn't know. If you want to have the argument that he may be spending too much money in the strip club or on the strip Botox and whatnot, that too, then okay, I can see you wanted to have that argument with him. But God's honest truth, she doesn't even know if he's actually spending money in the club. They could just be going.
That could be where he's having his 2 beers before he goes home.
Like I'm gonna say this. Let's just be for real as a guy. Honestly, I have been going to strip clubs since I was 16. That's the first time. I'm too young, yes, but first time I went to a strip club, I was about 15, 16 years old. I got exposed a little early. Shouldn't have been, but yeah.
Plead the fifth.
I went a little early. So I've been going off of strip clubs for years. But one thing I figured out really quick, I never understood these guys trying to spend all these hundreds of dollars, or if you got it, thousands of dollars in the strip club. Honestly, I have spent probably the least money in the strip club than everybody, because guess what? I go in there, sit at the bar, get my little drink or two at the bar. I can still see plenty of chestesses all across the stage. I ain't got to spend a dime.
I mean, I used to go for the food. We used to go at lunchtime. Lunchtime be lit at the club, but we didn't drink alcohol because we had to go back to work. But we used to have lunch at the club.
Hey, Blue Flame Rings.
I ain't naming my stomping grounds. And what I'm not going to do.
I mean, hey, hey.
When they go out of business, I'll name them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But yeah, we need to find out about his finances before we say he's spending money at the strip club.
And she doesn't know it. That's why you notice it was kind of half baked a little bit. For how she trying to be upset about this.
Motown investor, you've never been to a strip club? Wow. Okay.
And that's okay. Some people don't ever need it. Honestly, I don't need it.
You keep saying need. It's not a need. It is, patronizing an establishment for entertainment. Okay? That's what I call it.
Okay, better. I'm a rephrase. Some people don't need that form of entertainment.
Okay, there you go. I don't need to go to the movie theater, okay? But we spend a lot of money there when we go.
Yeah. I spent some money last night to go see Tron. I wish I didn't.
I have a whole lot of never been to. I have a whole lot of never been tos in this chat.
What's going on?
Never been tos. I mean, y'all. Okay, the quickest way if you ever go to New Orleans is go to one of the clubs on the on the strip.
Yeah, you see a lot more out there on Bernard Street than you do in the strip club at times. So
right. Go to Bourbon, any of those clubs on Bourbon. I mean, that's as chill and relaxed. I took one of my coworkers to his first strip clubs then, back when, before Hurricane Alice was coming. Y'all know how many years ago that was. Hurricane Alice was coming towards New Orleans. That was way before Katrina. That was what, in the early 2000s? Yeah, we went and got him a few, Yes, field trip to the strip club. Yes, just Rhonda, we need a field trip to the strip club. Okay.
All for some beads.
No, not for no beads. The head of the business club at my college, he was a male stripper. Okay. And he looked good, working and in the classroom. Okay. Again, it you can't wait to make it to a Magic Mike show. I don't like the Magic Mike type of shows, okay? But yeah, we could totally do a trip to the strip club. Never been neither, but the UK strip club culture is quite different. Oh, Lady Lyrics, do tell. Now I gotta look it up, Lady Lyrics. I gotta look that up.
You know what? Honestly, if I'm correct, I stand correct if I'm correct. Their strip club culture would mirror close to how New York's look like. Like y'all. New York,
yeah,
there are different cultures
even
within the U.S.
Yeah,
New York strip club culture is vastly different from, say, down south or Atlanta strip club culture. It is vastly different.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I would not go to a club in New York. I've been to, but I won't go to a club in New York. Yes, Magic City. No parking at no parking at Magic City, but the food is wonderful. See, just want to make me call me out at a place that I have been. Anyway, I ain't gonna say much more, but I don't have a problem unless we look at the budget. Okay, the budget says the Botox, the beers, bed, unseasoned steaks. We need to finalize the budget because then we could determine if he was going, how much money he was spending. But he's not now. Anton seems very chill. Here's my thing: we don't know that much about Anton, and I'm scared.
That's true. I think meeting his friend told me a lot. He probably was the party guy. They would go out, have their fun, and then go home.
But the friend does seem like the more of the party guy. The friend is loud.
Anton's not. He probably just, that's my party guy. He get turned up, I turn up with him, and then go home. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just trying to make it a big deal out of something. I'm like, okay. But like I said, it do be on people because I don't know why she was talking that much. Like she was really running her mouth.
Trey, they forgot the microphone was on.
Allie didn't. It ain't really had nothing to do with the microphone. Well, okay.
But then I tell you, Trey, I tell you what's going on. I tell you in the bathroom, girl to girl. And then you go in front of the men and tell them, give a hint that I told you stuff. I can't trust you after that.
Well, I was just about to ask that question. How many situations have you been in where the girls go into the bathroom and they start talking, or have you started talking? How freely is that information given? Because you just meet these people now.
I don't know you. I listen. It's happened to me. I listen, and I'm going to carry the bones home. Your friend ain't never going to know. She ain't never going to know. I told you unless you go back to your friend. But I ain't going to do it at the table in front of everybody.
You know what? I think she had to do that because she knew she messed up in that bathroom.
What do you mean? I'm with Tim. She can't hold water.
No, she can't. As soon as Allie, when the girl was talking in the bathroom, if you notice the way she was talking, it wasn't like she. I don't think she thought she was spreading gossip about Anton. She just thought, hey, yeah, they were party guys, before I met them, this, that, third. And then when me and him started dating, that's why she made the distinction. When they were single men, yeah, they was out there partying, going to clubs, going to strip clubs, whatever. But whenever they was in a relationship, they in a relationship.
But Allie said, but he told me that he was, Joe was more the party guy. That's when the girl was starting to tell the tea.
Yeah. But you notice it stopped when Allie said, "Oh, I don't like the fact he went to strip clubs. I don't like that." Then the girlfriend switched it up and tried to like smooth it over a little more. Because she realized in that moment, I might have said too much.
Just a tad too much.
Too
But
much.
Allie can't. Allie can't hold water. Allie's chastising this man. Why are you going to school to get an education to not do anything but get Botox? What are we doing? You want me to be your mama, pick up after you, feed you, everything. You're going to school to not work. I don't get it.
Yeah. The girlfriend, actually, the girlfriend and Allie can't hold water. I'm like, man, you just talking. Why? Why are you saying this much? Like, I was like, what's going on?
Well, the friend will stay with his girl because he loves her cooking.
Hey, it works for them.
Ladies, this is another cautionary tale. You cook for him, he stays. If you cook well, he does not leave, okay? So be careful who you cook for, especially if you know how to season and cook well. Be careful who you cook for. He may never leave, okay?
Yeah, so why you say that like a cautionary tale? That's a good thing. What you mean?
Because you may not want that person to stay. You may not want that stray to stay.
That's true. You know what? Yes. Cook for someone, ladies, cook for someone who you actually like. Okay? If you have value in him, you actually like that man, don't be afraid to cook something for that man. Because I guarantee you, he's looking at you as a prerequisite. Oh, she cooked too? Oh, yes. 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 Move this right along.
He never left, and it's 4 months. 4 months later, he's still there. And now you want to show spilling all his tea and his friend's tea in the bathroom.
I ain't gonna lie. I forgot that she was a traveling nurse. Was he homeless? What? Okay, I forgot that. Well, I thought she moved in with him.
No, he moved in with her.
Oh, well. Okay.
He said he never left. He moved in with her. Maybe he was. Maybe Anton gave up his apartment to go on the show and he needed a place to stay.
You mean like Joe? Now we be.
That's where we go. That's where we head next. That's where we head next.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know.
Yeah, Ali and Anton, I'm concerned that I don't know much about Anton except what we hear from Ali or other people. We are not hearing from Anton other than the bank account. We are not hearing Anton speak much.
Yeah. God's on, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this I don't want to sound toxic when I say this, but I don't mind that. I think he's the smartest man on the show thus far.
Oh, yeah. Well, duh. They can't twist his words.
So can he like, let me just sit back and look at everything, what's going on.
He don't look like a deer in headlights. He doesn't look like he's either scared, happy, sad. It's just monotone.
Yeah. Straight monotone. I ain't gonna lie, I did feel him when he was explaining that he had a train. Be soft. Oh my God. When he was explaining that he had to train some young guys driving.
Oh, I knew he needed
I ain't gonna lie, in that moment, I was like, man, let that man have his beers. Because Lord have mercy. Y'all don't understand. He was feeling for his life. If he was actually training some students, and he's probably doing overnight training, because at some point, even at any I'm a professional driver, so at some point when you're training whatever, there is a thing driving overnight. You have to train for it. You have to train your student for it. It is nerve-wracking. You might think it won't be, but oh my God, it's a thing. So he's probably with stress. Some 18-year-old barely got got your license. Now you want to drive an 18-wheeler, barely could drive it, and we at night on the road in Denver? Oh, no, no, no. I can imagine. I can imagine.
Y'all, Denver got mountains and they got wildlife.
That's what he's doing. Oh, it just clicked. Okay, now it just clicked. He's and that's the training part too. He's mountain driving.
Yes.
Oh God.
And wildlife.
Let that man have a drink. You better be lucky he ain't drinking hard tequila at night in the morning. That's what he probably need. Just let him have his 2 beers and go to bed. Let him have his 2 beers and go to bed. I'm stressed out just thinking about it. Oh my God. Oh my God. I need something to drink now.
Right? That's what just Rhonda said. D Brown, we know that Allie has only been in Denver for a year. She's a traveling nurse. She is a Latina. We know a lot more. She wants Botox and wants Anton to pay for it. We know a lot more about Allie than Anton.
You notice in the last, this is on the same subject, but the reason why when I remember she was a traveling nurse, it kind of made me pause. I don't think it's fair when I say this, but you notice it's been somewhat of a stigmatism attached to traveling nurses lately out there, especially the last few years.
Yes.
So, and I'm like,
that nurses are not as conservative.
Okay? Yeah.
Nurses are like pilots, have somebody at every port. That's what they say about traveling nurses, about truck drivers. So,
and some of them is warranted. I will be honest and say that for some drivers out here, men and women, it's warranted. It's some messy stuff going on out here.
Rhonda, we don't know why such a young girl would want Botox, but the young girls are getting it. Okay, the Dashians of it all, I don't know. That's what my thought is. But why would such a beautiful young lady, who sometimes the lighting makes her look like AI, I don't know why she would want Botox. I know people get it, on their sweat glands to stop sweating, especially if they sweat overly, they do that Botox. D Brown, no, not too much on nurses. We love nurses around here.
Yes, we love nurses, but Ms. Brown, I can already tell
traveling nurses.
You know exactly what we're talking about because you know some of them personally. Let's not pretend.
Alicia is telling us that the tickety talk beauty standards is what Allie is trying to keep up with. So, is there anything else you want to say about these two? Let's go on to the next one.
Let's go on to this one because they ain't gonna make it.
The wedding's in 3 weeks. The wedding's in 3 weeks. What? The wedding's in 3 weeks.
This
is not normal. This is not normal. Joe,
and it's not.
Joe's behavior is quite concerning.
Oh my God. Now, if you want to talk about somebody that may have a drinking problem,
and Joe,
yes, Joe has a drinking problem. Okay? Because when he gets off stuff, he starts to talk. Woo! He starts to talk. Oh my God. You know what? I'm going to say this about Joe. It's going to be my only one boon I'm going to say about him. It's going to sound crazy. It might sound a little crazy. I do think as this goes along further, he somewhat is liking Madison a little bit more and more and more. A little bit. I can see it. But he's still, he's a butthole. Okay, he's a real butthole. And I'm sad to say this because I do think he comes from a very nice family. I like when they met his family. I liked all of them. This was really nice.
Joe's mama looked very young.
She's great.
She actually looks like the blonde in the bunch. I need to know, Trey, why is Mama's ex-husband there if that is not his dad?
Yeah, that was weird.
and what was doubly weird is both men sat on the opposite end of the table.
That was
together.
Weird. You know what? Yeah, that was weird. But then again, maybe, honestly speaking, maybe because he also developed a good relationship with Joe growing up. Because it sounds like, she had him with his dad or whatever. They broke up. She married the stepdad, and then at some point in time they broke up, maybe. But at some point in time, the stepdad was there and in Joe's life, and they've developed some type of father and son relationship to the fact that he's going to be around. Period. He's going to be around. He's going to stay there. So it's weird, but if I really take a step back and look at it, I kind of respect it.
I understand it as a blended family. I totally understand, but we saw one gentleman, the title he got was dad, and the other was her ex-husband. And I'm like, are both her ex-husbands? Did she go back to
dad?
She's single. I didn't see a ring on her hand, but I'm like, dad and the ex-husband, is he the dad to Joe's sisters? But we got a team Joe in here. Don't go too much on Joe. Don't put too much sauce on Joe.
Hey, bro, you crazy for that. I'm sorry. Don't you're gonna slide down a hill, you're gonna be on Team Joe. That's a bad train to attach your caboose to. Don't do it.
But just Rhonda is saying that Madison's behavior is not that different from Edmund's, minus the floor licking and the booger eating.
She's very emotional. Oh my God. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I'm gonna give Joe 2 booms because I felt the same way he did. Madison can be annoying. I was getting annoyed by her. I'm just like, oh my God. You know what? I would probably be annoyed if I just waking up and I gotta hear you talk to me like that. Like, oh my God, I just don't know. I'm like, stop it. Stop it. All right?
Why am I even wearing your ring, Joe? Why am I wearing your ring?
Listen, and if you take that ring off again, keep it off. All right? Play with me if you want to. Snatch that ring off. See, I couldn't be on the show. You took that ring off, you keep it off. Okay? Keep it off. Now, don't come back to me. You want to be upset, mad, and it looked like a temper tantrum. She was throwing temper tantrums throughout the episode. I was like, what is going on?
She was up in the ante. Now, Motown investors say she's Team Joe because Joe is a certified lover, according to Madison.
Oh, yeah, he knocking that thing down, boy. Oh, my God.
He put in work because but Trey, okay, let's talk about this. He putting in work, and he clearly told the producers that this is work because he does not like ladies of her body type. So please explain to me why he putting in that much work to get her to cling to him. Because when you're putting in work, just like cooking, you're putting in that delash, she gonna want to stay with you.
This is why I said I do think slowly, in some ways, he's starting to like Madison just a little bit. And yes, he could be homeless, so he gotta, hey.
He said he wants to move in with her right away when he heard she had a house in the pods.
She got a house, so she got benefits. Now, let's be honest, will he be a fool not to? Will he be a fool not to?
Well, looking at his studio, I mean, he ain't got a bad setup.
No, it ain't bad, but it ain't a house either. You know what? It's not even in a bachelor pad. It looked vacant to me. I'm like,
yeah, it's a vacant studio. That's why she says it's more hotel-y.
Yeah,
Joe is now, just Rhonda, I have to disagree. Joe is putting in some work because ain't no way this woman crashing out over you if you ain't putting in some work.
He's knocking that back out hard.
That's why she came. She was like, bring that old thing back, please. Yes, don't slip away from me.
Keep knocking that back out hard. Whatever he doing, she like it. Okay, best she ever had, according to her. And I don't think she was putting on. I do not believe she was putting on. She was like, oh my God. I gotta hang on to this for dear life. Dear life. Even though I'm gonna amend my words, even though he doesn't like her enough. I think he likes a little bit, and I think it's growing, but it's not enough. I think what did boom it was after she met his family, she actually went over quite well with his family.
She knew what to say because the ex-husband was like, how do you know after 3 weeks that this is it?
Mm-hmm. She went over well with the family. So to me, I guess that's what Motown investors are saying. I think Joe is really looking at it like, you know what? Let's see if we can work something out here.
But did you notice that Joe is a hunter? I believe Joe is a hunter.
Yeah.
I believe that shrink wrap meat with those dates handwritten, I think that's Joe's hunting skills.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't know any butcher that does that.
No, not really.
Not handwritten. Now, other places they will shrink wrap it and they'll put an official label on it because that's what you're supposed to do for food service. But it was handwritten, the date and the type of meat it was.
It depends on the butcher. If you actually hunting, you out in the woods, it ain't got to be a big business. It could be like just a part-time butcher. You know, you hunt on his land and he'll butcher up the meat for you. You wrap it up and put a label, put his writing on it, whatever. I've seen that.
No, I know. Well, anyway, the butchers here in the South by me, yes, you can. You can actually go and pick an animal and they will, process it for you. But they have a proper label, a printed label on it.
But they're businesses. That's what I'm saying. They are businesses.
Right, they're businesses.
I'm talking about someone that, you just hunt on his land. Hey.
Oh, you talking about that and you string it up in the back.
Yeah, string it in the back. You're going to process this thing right in the backyard. Okay. I can do that. I
that's what I'm saying.
In the backyard, no
it's got to be something like that for it to be handwritten on that meat.
So that part I can get. It kind of makes sense, I've seen that myself.
I have too, but I would love, that is why I also covered Alone, the hunting show. Well, the survivalist show. I want to go to whether it's a dude ranch or whatever and learn to process that stuff properly. I know how to cut into stuff, but to process it and package it properly is definitely what I would love to learn.
And you're right, Mitch Haley. He never said he wasn't attracted to her. He just said she's not usually her type. He hasn't been with girls her size, according to his words.
And the words were wrong. And y'all, those are in my shorts. What he said is in my short. I do say about Joe saying, this ain't it. But he put in work, If he wants a place to stay, he gotta pay a fee.
Hey, gotta pay your way.
I'm telling you, but Madison did put on a show for his family. She had that ring on. We don't know the order of events, but I think their fight was first and then seeing the family. But I'm scared. I'm scared for both of them. But Joe at the mixer,
I'm just scared for her. Well, yeah, I'm just scared for her because she's a yes, and she shouldn't be. But we know Joe is basically a no. We're just wondering if he's going to teeter-totter, because he needs a place to stay.
But also, even if she needs a place to stay and to teeter-totter, Madison is kind of becoming heavy-handed with him.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm afraid for Joe. Because she has been dismissing his feelings. She has been dismissing what he says and turn it around to, well, what about me?
Yeah. Her emotions is definitely has been heightened ever since. It seemed like she wants, she's wanting the one thing that he's not really giving her, and that is attention and the why is my mind going blank? The affirmation that she wants from him, and he's not really giving that. You know what I'm saying? So it's making her like react more and more.
Well, one person that got his, did you have anything for them? Because I'll transition to the next couple. Mm-hmm. One person that had him reacting that he was like, I don't know about that dude. I don't know what is up because that ain't my guy.
That was crazy. But I told you. I remember we talked about this. I said, no, Brendan's the one. They don't like Nick and Mike. And he pretty much said it.
But again, Brendan is a problem if Brendan is a friend to Mike and similar to Mike. Brendan is a problem.
Well, he's not a problem that nobody has to deal with because he's not actually one of the couple. So it's just they just like Brendan over Mike and Nick.
Right.
That's
And Nick is a hunter. Nick is a hunter. Nick also has a big sale for his ice boat. Okay.
Listen, Nick, the more I see, the more what I said is absolutely right. What I said about him last week. Nick is a metrosexual mountain man. Straight up, he just without the beard. That's all he is. He just doesn't have the beard. That's it. But he is mountain man through and through, just a little fancier.
He tries to be because he's a luxury watch salesman. He's like the slick salesman.
Yeah. Listen, Elsie, when they went to his house, it looked like a mountain house, whatever. It was actually a pretty decent one for the mountain stuff. It was cool. But when they went in that garage, and I saw that 65.
What?
Authentic 65 now. We ain't no replica.
No.
It's not a replica. It's a real 65 Cobra.
Real.
He got sitting in his garage. She don't even understand what she was sitting in.
She don't. Most people who are not into cars don't understand.
That's a real 65. It ain't no replica. I could tell. I was like, oh, snap.
Did you see the tires tray?
Yeah. It's originals.
I'm sorry, y'all. We got a car out for a minute.
Man, you talking over a million already. At auction. 1.2 properly. That ain't not listen. First of all, the family is well off. Just keep you for real. The family is well off. Nick, he balling and Dylan. He is Mr. Dylan, okay? Okay.
He is the de facto mayor.
What?
When you see his garage and see all his toys, and I don't for one time believe that his little corner with his video game, his simulation game was always in the garage. That ain't happening. That was moved to the garage. Ain't no way he wintering that stuff, that electronics in a garage.
Yeah, he probably put it out there.
It was moved. But when you guys look through his garage and all of his toys, and you start pricing it, forget the car, okay? The car is the pied de resistance. Forget the car, okay? Jesus. When you start pricing out his ice boat, when you start pricing out, he has multiple sales for that ice boat, multiple textures of the sales for that ice boat, okay? When you start seeing, and those are just a few medals for the marathons I've been running across the country and across the world. When you start pricing that thing out and the registration fees involved in that, when you start pricing out his simulator, when you start pricing out his skis, because he got the cross-country skis, he got the slope skis, he got the snowboards. Yes. Rich people hobbies.
Crazy. You know, which explains a little bit more. Remember I told you last week, I think Anna is a little, she was unserious coming into this show. And I still believe that. But she's another one. She's looking at the landscape and she's beginning to get serious. Why? Because she is actually seeing, oh my God, this could work. Now she's crashing out over dumb stuff that she don't need to be crashing out about. Just dumb stuff that she don't need to be crashing out about. You know?
Right. He did not bat an eye, Tiff, when she said, well, could we buy something else?
Exactly. He keeping that house.
Keep this. We'll keep this and visit it.
Exactly. He keeping the mountain house, okay? He said, yeah, I can move down there with you for a little while until we find a house. You know?
Yeah.
You know, so that'd be okay with you.
Nick is no brokey. I'm glad nobody has ever called him broke before this. I thought people would do that to Nick, but Nick is no brokey. Okay?
Now, they're just trying to call him gay for some reason, which I still don't understand why they're trying to label this man. It's gay.
I don't discuss that myself. Y'all in the chat have free reign and free use of the English language. I don't call a person's preference between the sheets because I feel like it's possibly outing them or mischaracterizing them. So that's why you don't hear on my channel me questioning that. Question his word choice? Yes. Why are we making, size queen reference? Yes. Okay, fine. That made me, huh? Okay. But I'm not going to put that speculation out there. The man is on this show to find a wife. I'm going to hold him to what contract he signed.
Yep.
But y'all, please feel free in the chat for y'all to put out your speculations on him. It is certainly still free speech up in here. Okay. But when I saw it, oh, what does size queen mean, Alicia? Help. Okay, thank you. I always forget that, our lingo isn't out there. Now, usually, folks of the Rainbow Coalition, folks that are gay, I usually only hear size queen in the rainbow, group. Okay. I usually hear that from gay men talking about the appendages that they prefer to handle. Okay. That is the eggplant. So when you say you are a size queen, it means you are a queen that only likes larger sizes. Okay. So that is to describe a peen. So heterosexual man saying he is a size queen is why you side eye him. Because why are you doing that? That is used to describe your own appendage. Why are you using that to describe the sail on that boat? Because we also use it to describe a sail on an ice boat that's gliding over. See, there's a whole bunch of stuff with that sail that could be, interpreted as an appendage.
Yeah.
That it don't sound good.
A part of me can almost understand why, because of his career, his chosen career. The type of people that might be buying the, okay, first, especially when if you're selling a boat to a man, which is probably going to be his primary customers, right? Just about every car, every piece of item that man's gonna buy is a female. So when we're talking about boats and cars, stuff, whatever, it's going to usually be in a female verbiage, female terms. And right. When you come to boats, yeah, the size of the boat does matter. The bigger, the better.
But we don't, most sailors that I know, and maybe the young sailors are different now. Okay. Most of the sailors I know don't say size queen.
True. Well, we got to add this. Somebody
they
just
would say big sails. They would say pirate sails. Okay.
We also can't disclose the fact, we are of a certain persuasion on this particular channel here. He's a white man talking. They are very different when it comes to topics of conversation like this. They tend to be a lot more freer than versus, say, a black conversation would be. It seemed to be a little more restrictive. It's like when you notice at the Mitzer, all of the white guys was talking very funny to one another that we would deem as a little funny, but they didn't even look at it the same like it was. It was like almost dude locker room talk, and I do mean dude in a certain manner. Like the white boys, how they deal with each other is vastly different. Say a group of black men would deal with each other. You're gonna catch a lot of, oh man, you look so great. Woo, yeah, them thighs sexy. Ain't they sexy? Like the way Joe was talking to Jordan is kind of a norm for a lot of the frat boy talk. It's a norm for a lot of white men.
Ooh.
It's a norm.
Just Rhonda said it. They were talking about that.
Yeah, it's a norm. They're a little more freer.
Yeah, they certainly were conversating more with the men than with the women. They're the same in France, especially the young ones at uni. Good to know, Alicia, that it ain't just Denver. It ain't just there. Now, with the crop jumper, it's okay for sometimes, Michelle. It's about a shirt that may stop and show your midriff, like a crop top.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a shorter sweater that you may get a little bit of waist in there. Okay, that's what the crop stuff is. And y'all, thank you. Always ask us if the slang you don't understand the slang, the terminology, because y'all know I asked that of you when I was watching Love Is Blind France. So please ask us when we don't sound all together, and you just need to understand. But we're just telling you, everybody, if you priced out, and I'm not including the car, if you priced out everything in that garage, that is probably 4 times the amount that house is worth. Just in the garage. Okay? Just in the garage. 4 times the price of that house.
And the house in the mountains ain't cheap. Because especially for that area that they live in.
And the house looks petite. But again, he's a single man. He has a house in the mountains. Okay? Mm-hmm. He has a house in the mountains.
It was funny. Like, remember my description for Nick. He is a metrosexual mountain man. You know, and what his job, what he does, it fits. It just fits.
I'd like to see his daddy's garage, because if he has a car that's almost worth 1.5 million, I'd like to see his daddy's garage.
Yeah, I want to see what his toy look like. I know he got one.
And that's a summer car, y'all. And Nick only uncovered it because they were visiting. That car is covered.
Yeah.
There is snow on the ground. It is too cold for that leather to be exposed.
It's too cold to even drive that car on mountain roads in the winter.
Trey, thinking about that and the things that are needed for that car, I then now think that garage is probably temperature controlled.
It's heated. It's heated. Good. I was going to bring that up when you saw the similar outside. I was like, the garage looked heated when it went in there. It looked heated.
Yeah, it's got to be. But yeah, Nick's brother was silent. Everybody was silent except Mama. Mama was cutting Daddy off. Daddy can't get a word in edgewise. So that's why I think, Nick and the brother and everybody knows when Mama talks, you be quiet.
Yeah, Mama runs that one. Yeah, Mama definitely runs that house.
So if Mama runs that house and y'all do everything, probably cars with your dad, Mama probably goes hunting with them. So in some aspects, I see you mirroring your mother because Mama is the leader of the pack. Sorry. Mama run that. All of that. I'm sure Nick could even buy his house without his mama giving the okay and go ahead. Not saying she can't guide her son, but definitely Mama still run things. And if Mama didn't like Annie, that's not it.
Yeah, it would have been a wrap. But since we're talking about that, what's going on with Annie?
We ain't met her family yet.
But the way she started trying to find things to trip out about, I'm like, I found Nick, and I told you I'm not the biggest Nick fan, actually. Just for, God, he is a little bit of an a-hole. But I couldn't help myself but agree with him on these last couple of episodes about how he was viewing this situation. Like, he was locked in, but it seemed like she kept trying to say, oh, I know you're more in love. I'm more in love with you than you're in love with me. He was like, I never said that. Like,
you implied it though, Trey. When you say that all the guys, we are not 100%, you are implying, because I am 100%, you are implying that I am more in love than you. Yes, I think Annie was tipsy. I think she was tired. She did say she was tired. That was not a time to have that conversation with her. And so her tripping out, flipping out, and flipping the script, and I think the real Annie was like, I don't need you, but I want you.
Now, you know what? Now, these are the very few conversations that I do stand on a hill and die on. Okay. It's always, the men had this conversation a few years ago on Kojo channel when we was doing just the men's chat, the men's episode on our Sundays, whatever. And we had a whole conversation about needs versus wants, how men and women view it vastly different. Okay. Even in this conversation, Annie was so hard trying to get across of the importance of, oh my God, I don't need you, but I want you. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, it did not go over in Nick's mind. Because for us, it's the opposite way. It's the opposite. For most men, and this is the best way I can explain it. Everyone, just listen carefully. Usually, when you have something you want, you're okay with getting rid of that. You're okay with letting that go if it comes to it. When you have something or someone that's a need in your life, you tend to do more to try to keep that in your life. I.e., easy example you can give. Why is your husband or wife a want, but your kids are a need? Because when it comes to your children, you don't hear too many people say, "Oh, I just want them." No, it's a need. The way they defend them, the way they go hard for them, it's a need. You need your children. But when it comes to your spouse or partner, or that's a want, you're so willing to let them go. When I hear just a want, I'm just a want to you. Oh, I don't hear love. I hear just infatuation for now. I'm okay without you.
But Trey, isn't that a defense mechanism as well? Even though Sam is here, you are so right, Trey. You are so right.
It's not a
Um,
defense. I think it's a
it's a
fact of life.
Yeah, but it's a defense mechanism for her right now. She doesn't know
Oh,
if
for
this
her?
man will be
Yes.
her husband.
Yes. She is doing it as a defense right now. But that's what I'm saying is she doesn't understand the way she's portraying it is not clicking for Nick. All he hearing is, I'm something that's disposable. That's all he
And
heard.
and she heard from him that she is disposable.
Yeah.
They just said the same thing in different ways. They are both disposable. He said that we don't know. So that means
But
I'm
no.
disposable. You can say no to me.
Here's the problem that most men come into this show with, especially because most men tend to think very logically about this stuff. It does, even in a serious relationship, a serious couple, it does get to a point where your logic shuts off and your emotions kick in. For a lot of the women, it tends to kick in a little sooner than the men. The issue comes about most men still can't get past, or they can't forget the fact that, wait a minute, I just met you 3-4 weeks ago, and we're supposed to spend the rest of our lives together. I barely know you. And for a lot of people, that's hard to get across. For a lot of men, it's just people specific. A lot of men, that's very hard to get past. Like I might like you a lot. I might even feel like I might be in love with you, but we literally just met.
Sam says a better way to say it is I love you and treasure you and would not want to live a life without you.
That sounds good. You know what? You were bamboozle me if you tell me that. I'm like, oh really? All right, cool. Shit, you like me, huh? Yeah, I like you too. Yes, yes. It is all in how you word things. Sam, that was a beautiful example. So you when they make everything look like
Mm,
sex. Mm,
mm.
mm.
That's how
Now
women feel disposable to men.
that's gonna now you open up another can of another conversation. Sex versus money, because that's how that's exactly how. Yeah, I know. She's like, oh my god, being
Transactional.
yes, a lot of relationships, even more and more nowadays, is very transactional. Women feel like I agree with you, Adrian. Women feel like men just look at them for sex. Men feel like women just look at them for money.
But it's interesting looking at Nick and his garage and his toys. Nick did not lead with money like Mike did.
Mike or Megan, yeah.
Nick
Well,
didn't lead with it.
I think partially of that is because his family has always had money, so he comes with money. It's not a
New thing.
it's not a new thing.
Huh.
For
It could
Mike,
be. Yeah.
it's he's probably had money for a while, but it's still new. Megan definitely she's I think her family's always been okay, but her personally has
Right.
been very successful probably within the last
We'll get to them. We'll get to them
yeah.
next. But yes, I found it very interesting. If Nick was, and maybe he lives in a part of the mountains that is very well to do, so money isn't something that is sparkly to attract people. And
Yeah,
he certainly,
saw the other places around there. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There was some.
And looking at Annie's shop, Annie has a lovely shop in a very
Yeah,
busy side of town. So I'm not thinking that money would technically sway her, but it definitely will ping in her head. I'm just saying
exactly.
she has worked for what she has. She has the shop, she's putting it together. It's a very modest shop, but it's in a very, very foot traffic side of town. So I'm thinking Annie does see the bells, and that's why she didn't even say sell the place. That's why she said we got to get another place.
She sees the security with Nick. She
Right.
sees the security, and because she saw it, I noticed there was an uptick in Annie's demeanor.
Right.
Like she saw it, she went, "Oh my god!" I'm gonna say this about another couple. Oh my god, this could actually work. And so for some people, when they get into something, and you like, oh my god, this could actually happen, they get overly excited. You just want it now, and now she needs him to want it just as much as she wants it.
Yeah. Annie did the price tags on everything. You saw her looking at the sales and everything on the shelf. Annie realized, oh, I got a big fish.
Yeah, and now she's trying to secure it a little too hard.
Right.
A little too hard.
But then she kind of pushed it away with her turning her back on him and not really speaking at the mixer. But I don't even think Nick's sober enough to notice. Because he did not look sober enough to notice that she really ain't speaking to him. Because he kept talking.
So that was so weird how that happened when Brendan walked in, the way she was acting. I was like, Danny, whoa, calm. You know what? You and your big hat need to chill out. Okay? Like, it was so condescending.
Because she realized Nick is the big fish.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, oh, no, I got to hang on to this. Nah. Mm-mm.
Yes. And then Allie running her mouth again. Go and tell, oh, no, that's not what Kate said.
Oh, my
Kate
God.
told me. Kate told me XYZ, and Annie goes and believes it and kind of shut Nick out. I don't think Nick is sober enough in that moment to even notice she is not even speaking to him.
I'm gonna say this. I know why he did it, but I also believe I don't think Nick should have went and apologized to Kate. God's honest truth. That may come off a certain way, but I don't. To me, I think all he did was exasperate whatever that was going on in the first place. You know,
Yeah.
he knew the main reason, which he noticed he didn't want to bring up again. The main reason why he said no to her was because of the religion aspect.
Right.
Because besides that, Kate was the number one choice. You know, sight unseen. Even though Kate's an Amazon, how tall is she?
Let's not go there. You know, height was an issue in France. We're not going to make height an issue in Denver.
I don't know. I was just shocked. I didn't know it was like, oh, whoa, that's a bit to stay.
We knew Kate was tall because when she was in the ladies' lounge and stuff. But Kate, I liked how Kate played it because she's like, I ain't gonna play. I ain't gonna be termed as the bitter woman from the pod. You pick somebody else. when she turned and was talking to Madison like Nick is fake as I said, I like Kate.
I don't know why
I
Africans
like
try to
Kate.
argue this.
That's okay. You know, there's sometimes you see both sides trend, and sometimes you don't. That's okay. That's okay. We all have opinions. Is there anything else you want to say about Annie and Nick before? Because we got 2 more sets of things to go over.
Let's move on.
Talking about glitter,
Oh.
talking about sparkles and money. Her house in LA should sell for 1.5 milli. And you're telling the guy who has a 1-bedroom apartment that we just need a loan for 500,000 to get this house. You got to school me. This must be on another side of Denver because I can't see paying 2 million for a house that ain't got no backyard. The privacy fence ain't got no privacy.
Not for that. I wouldn't pay for it, but they, you know, that's a neighborhood that all the rest of the houses going for around that price. It's probably gated. Yeah. You know, I wouldn't pay for it because I need some land.
I know for 2 million, I need land. I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying Nick's house probably ain't.
But I'm a Southern boy. So I'm used to land. You know, I gotta have some type of land. So, you know, but
no, the loans are not that easy. And remember, Jordan told us that he cannot financially support another person. So do we really think he can financially support 500,000?
Yeah, that was, you know, this whole thing. This is another situation where, from Megan's standpoint, she sees it. She sees the future. She thinks it's Jordan. And she's trying to do everything she can to lock it in hard. I think she's doing a little too much as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think she's doing just a tad bit too much. But she is literally trying to lock it in with Jordan.
She is.
Jordan's pushback. Honestly, I think he's coming across the more mature of a lot of the men thus far that we've seen.
Except when he with Joe.
So until you get drunk, he talking to Joe. But besides that, I think he has the right mindset coming into this and handling this. I do understand his pushback because he doesn't want to be in a situation where he seems like he's mooching off of her. He can't pull his weight, pull his part.
He's a kept man, Trey.
He don't want to be that. He don't want to be that. And the funny thing is, she wants to kind of make him that, which is weird.
Yes. Motown investor right now, folks, single, you know, parents like Jordan or single people, they cannot afford a 2-bedroom right now. And while it may not be New York City, Jordan, you know, he can afford a 1-bedroom. Remember, he also got to pay child support. We got to think about that.
Is he paying child support?
Even if he's 50-50, Trey, you know he got to pay child support.
Oh no, I would like to know that for sure. Just to, I don't know.
Okay, even 50. Anyway,
I gotta look. I'm just being me.
He is the non-custodial parent.
Yes, you know what? The only reason why I say this is because for me to make this, to really go into that, I need to know what those state laws look like, and I need to know if he's actually on child support or not.
Well, you're right. She may not have sent him to court. He may be just paying. They may have an understanding. Yeah, Jordan don't strike me as the type.
Like that's what it feels like to me.
He don't strike me as the type. The way he talks about she's not my mother, and we do disagree on things. And you don't have to bend over backward for the mother of my child. And it's just like Megan was going off the deep end, like they were going to have the son full time for the rest of his life.
No, I think the child is with him a lot. You know, I think he's a very active father. The child's with him, just like you said, 50% of the time. So he has some type of healthy relationship going on with his baby mother.
Yes.
You know, and it was proven after Megan said she met her. It was like, oh, Yeah, it is how he said it. She's cool. They have a great relationship. They co-parent well. Her only concern was him being on television, which is understandable.
Understood.
And she was going
But
to meet the child later on in a few days.
I want to know how the mama feel right now, because Megan keeps acting like she gonna be the child's next mama.
I'm quite, you know what? Now, okay, yes. Yeah.
I told y'all about that. I told y'all how I felt about that.
Now, yes. And I think, yeah, she just said it. I think that's where a lot of his funds is going into. The boy is type 1 diabetes. His health cost is high.
Through the roof. And we
So,
are, you know, with what we're going through right now in the US, his medical stuff is going to cost a lot.
So he probably, yeah, I'm gonna deal with this 1-bedroom apartment if I gotta, take care of my son better medically. Yes, because yeah, a 2-bedroom apartment in Denver is not cheap. We're talking New York prices. I'm for real. It ain't cheap. It ain't cheap out there, especially a decent one. It ain't cheap. Heck,
It is not.
For that 1-bedroom, he's probably over around 2,300 for that one.
He probably is. He probably is. It is probably 2,200 for that 1-bedroom. And I have seen the dynamics of that. I have seen other single parents who have the children full time have that dynamic. So I'm not going to get on Jordan about his setup with his, the bedroom, his bed being in the living room and stuff like that. Jordan is showing everything for me as a responsible parent, a very involved parent, as you said. Jordan is showing responsible in keeping Megan in check as far as his son is concerned. I was concerned about Jordan.
That was good boundaries that he said. He told her, he explained to her, well, listen, you ain't got to buy him $100 Lego set. $1 he'll play with it. $100 versus $1 Lego set, just the same. What he's gonna care about is the memories and the time spent with him. Take him to the ice cream shop. He's gonna remember that.
Don't buy no Gucci backpack.
Yes, my son was the same way. He spent time with him. He remembers something we did versus something I got for him more than anything else. That's what the important is going to be.
The children remember experiences. They remember where they went, what they did, and how they felt while doing it. That's why I always made sure my kids had, when I was going and getting my master's, I made sure to buy like the membership at the local children's museum, because we got to go every Saturday, because at least they'll remember that. I learned how I could get free tickets to the zoo back when they were doing that. I mean, you have to have different things to, occupy the time. Yes, Alicia, he said no Gucci backpack. And she didn't refute that, because she looked like maybe she said that in the past.
Yeah, and honestly, I understood his reasoning. Like, no, I want him to learn that he has to earn things. Not it's that the world is just not going to give it to you. It's one thing if you work for it, you buy, you earn it, this and that, third. But if you start giving him the stuff, he's going to come up with an idea like, okay, this should just be normal. I should always have it, especially for a young man. No.
Also, he has to go back to his mother's, and you don't want such a disparity in the environments in which he's coming up, because Jordan also don't want his son to grow up and think, hey son, all you got to do is marry rich.
And you know what? I got beef with the realtor. How are we going to come to you? I tell you, yeah, we looking for at least a 3-bedroom house. Say within this price range, and you showing me a 6-bedroom house for $2.1 million.
You wanted that formal office, right? You wanted all the amenities, right? This is what we have in inventory.
She told her, I'm looking for a 3-bedroom house minimum with an office space.
But we don't have 3 bedrooms with a formal office. We have this 5-bedroom, 6-bath with an office.
Elsa, they did that to flex. Just keep it real,
oh,
okay?
Yeah. They wanted us to know Megan's place in LA is worth $1.5 million. That's what they wanted to do.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say this now. And I was afraid this might come off a little bit gold diggers, but I'm sorry. I think it has to be said. Like, listen, if I was talking to Jonathan, I understand your issues. I would have the same. But I'll also say this. Hey, bro, if I was your friend, I'd be like, hey, bro, just, logically, that's not a bad setup. You trying to tell me she's willing to sell her home for whatever the price is to put towards this new home, and all y'all have to do is go in on a loan for $500,000 that you're probably going to get approved of because she's probably going to be the primary holder. So you're going to get approved, and all of y'all got to worry about is the $500,000 mortgage, which, guys, honest truth, for even a 3-4 bedroom house in Denver, is going to run you about $500,000 anyway.
Trey,
bro,
who got the $500,000, y'all? Who got that right now?
I ain't say you got this. Is going to be a mortgage. I ain't say you got to pay. She probably got to pay out
Doesn't
the cash.
matter. Who getting approved for that right
nobody.
now?
Well, you know what? She is. She is. Because I guarantee you, she wouldn't be talking to the realtor and willing to sell the other home in LA. She wasn't already going to get approved. That's not the issue.
But
that's really not.
Here's another issue. She also got to go to LA 1 week. Every time she goes, 1 week a month. She told Mike, I'm not sure you'll remain faithful.
I don't think she's going to have that issue with Jonathan. God's honest truth.
Jordan,
my bad.
Keep calling
Jordan.
the man Jonathan.
I know. It's Jordan. I don't think Jordan doesn't give the step out. I mean, the reason why I can say this, maybe a few years ago before he had his son, but after he has his son, I don't think Jordan is the type, step out, have fun with all type of girls. Look at his living situation. He knows he's living in a 1-bedroom, right? He gave his son the bedroom. He put his own bed in the living room. He's not bringing people over to his house.
What do you mean? Girls have been at David's basement in Mass Chicago. What do you mean?
That's David. We ain't talking about David. We're talking about Jordan.
The girls will come over at any time, and he got the snippety snip so that he ain't caught out there with another bambino.
I'm not saying he was abstinent. We ain't saying that. All I'm saying is he doesn't seem like the type he's going to be having chicks running in and out of his places. He ain't that type of guy.
He's going to run in and out of their place.
And he doesn't seem like that type of guy. He ain't got the time. He's working and he has his son 50% of the time.
I ain't putting my toe out on that one, Trey.
All I'm saying is, from what I've seen, I don't see that in the cards for him. I'm a dude. I can look at some men and you tell me, I can almost tell you, yeah, he probably gonna step out on you. This one, he might not.
We agree to disagree.
Okay. That's fine with it, bro.
I ain't putting my toe out for anybody on that regard.
I didn't say I put it past him. All I said was, more odds than not, he's not going to be the type. You ain't going to be. Put this: Jordan versus Mike. Who do you think is going to be the one being the most of a chicken?
I don't put it past either of them. The way they're presented, it seems like Mike is more so, but I ain't putting it past Jordan either.
I love the way you answered that, but we know the answer was Mike. We know the answer was Mike. Jordan, yeah, he's had some experience out here, but he ain't the type to be recklessly. We put it that way.
I'm not saying he's going to be reckless, but I'm just saying, yes, he seems more the wholesome dad, okay, doing everything that he should. Yes. But there's a whole lot about Jordan I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know about his dating history other than the mother of his son. And the only thing that gives me, good feelings about him is that he never dogged out the mother of his son, said we just aren't compatible.
Yeah.
We're just not compatible. That the way he talks about his ex is what lets me lean to he's not out, here being, reckless and disrespectful. But Megan,
respectful.
Right. He's trying to be respectful. He was bringing Megan back in from her emotional day. That's the anniversary of her father's passing. And the sister had a dream and all this stuff. And I was just like, it's too much.
That's playing the part too. And Megan is trying to go so hard because they seeing some type of symbolism with their father's, illness versus Jordan's son and what he's at the. They're turning it into some type of, it's in the ether. God has willed it. It's meant to be. And I could see Jordan like, All right. You know, this is cool, but y'all can relax a little bit on this.
Relax, please.
Y'all can relax a little bit on this.
It was too much for me. It was a tad too much for me because I was like, girl, you're trying to replace the mama. You're having all this emotional stuff. Your sister
What up,
having a
Sean?
dream. Mama is saying all kinds of stuff. Hey, Sean, unfiltered. I hope you're enjoying Denver. It was just too much for me in this whole scheme of things. It's like Jordan already has to be dad to his son. Now he got to emotionally collect Megan. It was just too much for me. Sparkle Megan, it was crying Megan, and it's just But I like her mom. I like her sister. They were very much, mom is like, that's a sleeve? Is that what it's called?
They like them. They get along. Like I
Shayna.
said, everything. The reason why Megan it seemed like her emotional level is going up every episode is because the more and more this goes along, his mom likes it. Everybody likes him. He has a decent head on his shoulder. You know, he can be emotionally calming for her. Like, no, she is seeing the finish line, and I'm like, oh my God, that's when the panic really starts to set in for her. Like, oh, I got to lock this in. I have to lock this in. This may not come around.
She better lock it in and lock it down. But, Jordan don't want to be locked. Jordan wants some boundaries, and I think they need to have a very serious conversation about money and funds and how he sees it and coming from her. But here's my problem with Jordan. Jordan says, again, he said, I don't have the financial capacity to take care of another adult. Yet here you are with an adult that you don't need the financial capacity to, uphold. And then you don't want her to feel like she's stepping down to date you. You can't have it both ways, Jordan. You cannot have it both ways. And you proposed to this woman.
I was that this might sound weird to say. That is the only reason why I think ultimately, especially if they have a real good conversation with one another about certain things, set some boundaries, that it could work.
It could
work.
It could. If he said the boundary that, hey, don't buy a house more than the 1.5 million, because if this don't work out, whatever. But if she stays within that, hey, then it's kind of like he doesn't feel like he has to put out more. He doesn't feel like it's a step down for her that he ain't putting out.
Oh, Sean, I think you missed it. The 1.5 was going to be used to put up against the new house.
Yeah.
She's going to sell that to put up. That's my thing. She and he's seeing this. She is willing to sacrifice a lot, and he's seeing it, and he's not willing to let her just sacrifice it. That says a lot about his character.
But it's also how he feels about that sacrifice.
Exactly, and he should feel that way. Like, whoa, that's a lot. What are you doing? Whoa, hold on now. Are you sure about this? We need to talk.
Well, yes, she does need a prenup, Sean, because even if her 1.5 million goes into their new home, she will own a percentage more of the home if he moves out, wants to buy her out or whatever. Yes, and Denver does have community Denver does have community property laws that if they do buy it while married, that it is, both of theirs. So she definitely does need a prenup.
But I don't think she's going to go for it. Crazy as that sounds.
She probably wants to prove that the money don't matter, it's the relationship. And the thing is, here's what, if you going off the deep end saying Jordan ain't going to cheat, I'm going to go off the deep end and say,
I didn't say he ain't. What I said was he doesn't.
I know I'm putting words in your mouth. He's less likely to cheat than Mike.
He's less likely than Mike, than David, all the ones you tried to name.
But even so, I would put a little bit off on the ledge that Jordan, if they break up, Jordan ain't gonna go after her for her money.
Does he give you that energy that he might do that?
No, he doesn't.
I don't think he would.
But not saying he couldn't. Okay.
They didn't say that. All I'm saying, he does is not give the fact that he's trying to get her to pause. I'll play this. You'd be absolutely right if he said, "Oh yeah, let's go for that." No, that'd be the red flag. But the fact that he tried to put a pause on it, it's like, hold on, baby, you're doing a lot.
Right.
And mind you, we just met a
But
month ago.
we only received 500,000. That's all we need for this house, Trey.
Elsa, you remember what I just said? Listen, taking a step back, I didn't want to sound like a gold digger, but if I was his friend, I'm like, bro, that's actually not a bad deal. She looked good. You like her. It's all right. Y'all seem to get along. She is willing to enter your life because you have a son, willing to sell her house in LA to put against this new house. It'll be a nice house. All you got to do is go in with her on 500,000. You ain't got to pay the 5. You going in with her on 500,000, and y'all got to figure out your bills.
Well, Sean is suggesting maybe she should just move into his apartment and just live that way for a little bit.
They ain't doing that because she ain't gonna live like that. Let's not come up with crazy scenarios now, Sean. Stop it. Okay, she ain't doing
Sean
that.
didn't say that. I put that in. He said get an apartment. She probably will want a 2-bedroom apartment. But I
she's
understand.
not going for that either.
Because
remember, she said specifically, we're getting a house. She said that specifically, we're getting a house.
But she did ask him. She did ask him why didn't he get a 2-bedroom, and he said it was financially.
Yeah, he got to pay a lot for that 2-bedroom, and he got a whole son with an illness. Like, no, that take money. So it made more financial sense to just deal with this 1-bedroom. You know,
Megan don't want an apartment, Sean. That's why.
Yep, that's not happening.
We agree with you, Sean. That is perfect. We agree with you, Sean. But Megan don't want an apartment. She wants a house.
Especially that she just came from a house in LA. No, she ain't going down. She's going to bring Jordan up with her, dragging and kicking and screaming if have to. She's going to bring him with her, dragging, kicking, and screaming.
With the gluten-free ice cones.
I'm telling you. Now, we got to talk about that damn chicken, man. Bro.
Yes, let's talk about the dietary restrictions, because even if we have the 2-point-something million house, the baked unseasoned chicken, water, and Crystal Light. Anybody else going in on that diet?
It's the fact that she tried it. Like, bro, what? I would never. I don't care. Are you serious? What? You tried it. She tried it.
Never.
She is 100% in on Jordan that she tried that mess. That told me everything.
She love that man.
What?
She would drink his bath water.
What? Listen, she looked at it. She was like, this is actually a decent man. I would be a goddamn fool to let this get between my clutches. No. That's why I said she sees it. She sees it. She's like, oh my God. Yeah, right.
So we put the French bread next to shit.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, Crystal Light is crazy. It was nasty. I was like, is he really doing this? He's really doing this.
He really did drink it all. He almost didn't finish. He looked like he was gagging, but he finished it. Yeah. He said, hey, you know how much that protein is in that drink?
A lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. He got his protein in for the day. But nah, it was too much for me. I was like, yo. But the fact that he did it and she drunk some of it too, I was like, girl, why? Why?
And it was gritty and grainy.
Oh, it looked terrible.
It looked absolutely disgusting.
Terrible.
And he drank it all. That's his liquid diet.
Wait, was it cooked?
Yes, it looked cooked.
It looked boiled. Was it boiling?
Yeah, it was. He said it's baked. Baked.
Okay. Yeah, he baked that chicken.
But hey, she ain't got to spend much on groceries.
Listen.
From the Caucasus Mountain. I see you, Shayna.
Listen. These are one of the couples that, even in Jordan's eye, even he's looking like, okay, this could work. What his main concern is the power dynamics within it. That's it. Because Megan, she does come across of liking control and using her money to insert that control.
Yes.
And he's just trying to, hey, hold on. We may have to set some boundaries with this, okay? Because what we ain't gonna do, you ain't gonna be treating like Benson around here at your waiting foot and stuff. Nah, he ain't going down like that. But even him talking to her, he's doing it very maturely. He's just trying to get her to see, hey, listen, all right, we know you got it. That's not the point.
It wasn't even flavored water. I guess the Crystal Light flavor. Oh, I just
Yeah, it had enough sugar in it. The little Crystal Light pack had enough sugar in it for him.
Oh my god. And I need to go have dinner after this. And I was hoping Trey would forget about that too. Don't think y'all are alone in that. I didn't bring it up.
It was nasty. I was like, what? I mean, juicing is one thing. Like, why you? This is nasty.
It's something I could give my dogs. I mean, if I baked the chicken, I could cut that up and give it to my dogs.
They eat that all day.
Right, but I ain't your dog. So why are you feeding me that, Jordan?
Now, what if you try to feed at a dog and the dog say no? That'd have been crazy. The dog's like, what is this? nah, I don't like this. It might be Crystal Light.
I have a dog that she will eat anything. Okay, we have to lock her out of our compost pile out back. She will eat anything. So when she refuses something, and she does refuse, if anybody, like, that's one thing I love about her, she will refuse. If you came, Trey, and tried to feed her something, she will look at it, look at you, and walk away.
Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now?
Because one, she don't recognize you. She's very, very, she don't eat from anybody, but she will eat anything. So if we put something out for her, like, the boys will get something from fast food and put it down for her, she would be like, not happening.
I do think that will happen. There's going to be a fight. She does wants to be. Megan likes to be seen. She likes to put on the front. She likes
sparkle.
She likes to put on the glitz and the glamour. And Jordan is even though they keep saying it's the absolute truth, he's a humble guy. He doesn't need to stand out and, be out front and all this. Like, that ain't him.
They call it Sparks and Tats. That's her new name for them, Sparks and Tats.
Listen, if I was Jordan, I'd be like, hey, bro, listen, just agree to come out on special occasions, put on a nice little suit, and make her look good. The
one good suit he got. And don't be ashamed, Jordan, when she needs to buy you another suit.
Oh, no, he ain't gonna be. Listen, bro, if I was his friend, I'd be like, hey, bro, this is not a bad setup. This is not a bad setup.
Be a kept man. Be an at-home dad. Be a stay-at-home dad. Because I'm sorry, I would rather him, Jordan, because he's so level-headed. Because he's so level-headed, I would have no problem him being a stay-at-home dad.
No, Sam, I don't think she regrets it at all. Especially after beating Mike. I don't think she regrets it at all. She probably sees the attraction for Mike. She sees it, but she don't regret it.
Yeah, and Mike was, let's talk. Mike was shooting a shot. I almost slipped into your DMs. But I want to be respectful.
F-boys will always show you how they're an F-boy. Okay?
I would have bought you that ring you wanted. But it wasn't available. I would have bought you that ring you wanted.
F-boy activities. Okay? F-boy activities.
Because that goes along with I will buy you the house you want. Okay? I would buy you that house you wanted. You ain't got to get no loan, sweetie. You ain't even got to use your money from the LA apartment. I would have got you that house you wanted. See, Mike leads with his money. I got a sauna. I got a hot tub.
After scamming who though? Word getting out on him.
Time with Ricky.
And word getting out
on a lot
of
people.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh. Allegedly scamming a lot of people. Y'all, the word on the street, if you want to go to Storytime with Ricky, her TikTok and her YouTube channel, she says that Mike allegedly has not been paying bills around town. Small business owners say he owes them a lot. He gets them to provide a service and then does not pay. Allegedly. But yes, he was a frat boy at the first mixer, and he turned it around by the second mixer. So, you know, I hate to say it this way, but Jordan does adjust.
Yeah. He noticed that she got upset, so he's like, "Oh, yeah, let me chill out a little bit." And he did so.
Mm-hmm.
He makes corrections when it needs to be corrected.
Ooh, not when he needs to be corrected, Trey. That don't sound right.
No, I said he makes corrections when it needs to be corrected.
Oh, I thought you said when he needs to be corrected. I'm sorry. That was my, you know.
When it needs to be corrected, he will correct it.
You know, sometimes I hear what I want to hear.
Like Megan.
That's why I had to say it like that. I had to say it like that. I hear what I want to hear. And what I'm hearing is we're gonna get a loan for $500,000 for this house.
That wouldn't sound like it's about to happen. That wouldn't sound like it's about to happen. I thought it was about to happen right then and there. She was ready to tell her to get it done.
Right. As my husband, I hope you would move in here with our son. But
yo, I will say this about Megan. She did bother me a little bit when she was telling the girls about how she met, you know, his baby moms. She was like, "Oh, it went well," and then she did kind of like, "Oh, I'm better than her." I was like, "Oh, Megan, don't do that."
Here's
She
the thing.
disappointed me with that. She disappointed me with that.
Here's the thing. Megan would have to. Here's the thing. Here's a positive. Megan is all in about him having a kid, and she's all in about that child. Absolute positive. She's going a little overboard, but that's in her excitement and all of that. We rather that than her, you know, treat the son any kind of way. I am, you know, it's much better for me that you got to pull her back from her enthusiasm than you feel like she doesn't want anything to do with his child or is at minimum, you know, very bland about it. Bland as that chicken. But, you know, Megan really is all in on this, and I really like to see it. I just need her to calm down a little bit.
I have a feeling when she meets that child, you're going to have to peel Jordan off of her to stop her from doing anything, because like she already said, she met him on video, I think already or whatever, and he's already said, like, when do I get to meet Miss Megan? I want to meet Miss Megan. So the excitement is there, built up.
Trey, I think you need to rephrase that, because if someone is not listening to it in a positive light,
what I just said,
you have to peel Megan away from his son. What Trey is saying is Megan is
from Jordan.
From Jordan. Okay.
You have to peel her from Jordan.
Yeah, because she all in. She attached to the hip to Jordan. Once Megan and Jordan's son develop a really good bond, and she's really gung ho, and for her, I really hope it is wonderful and positive. And I think it might be because the son already had to adjust to a stepdad with the mom. Okay, yeah. So he's about that life. Yeah. You know, I just, you know, if it went the other way, it went sideways. I don't think Megan could recover too much. But positively, I think Jordan will have to keep on reining Megan in until they find that happy medium.
And honestly, that could be good for her because I think she has always probably had the tendency of going too far.
Yes.
Just going too far.
Right. And then you have to, Jordan will have the way Jordan is, I can see him being very successful in when they have their own kid together, making sure the family unit is solid. You know, I can see that with Jordan.
What does Jordan do again? I'm trying to remember. He was like
Jordan. I think he's a regional manager for something, or a logistics manager for something.
Some type of manager for some
yeah
company.
Yeah, you know, I don't believe all these stories about their jobs, so we'll see if he tells us anymore. Now, Trey, anything more on them, because we got to get to the last main event.
Let's hit the main event up.
The two in the middle.
Oh my God.
I'll let you go first because I have stuff to say. Anna and Patrick, y'all, finally meet at the mixer.
I think Patrick said it best. They probably would have met each other. There would have been someone all in, but when they got to the altar, she probably would have said no. And she never disagreed with it. Ouch. Ouch.
Why was it okay? Anna left. You left. You ghosted me. Yet you
Thank you.
have the nerve to be here, show your face, and have an attitude.
That was crazy.
Where did you do that at? No remorse. No sorry I left you. You know it. How could I be your number one? You went and proposed to another chick.
You left. You left.
And then when Patrick showed up and said, well, didn't you have the same kind of situation? You had Blake.
Yeah.
You had two of us.
It wasn't
So
Blake her number one.
Right.
He left. He left.
Am I in the Twilight Zone? That's when, y'all, my cool points for Anna, and I really like Anna in the pause, my cool points for Anna went out the door.
Out the bat.
Anna pissed me off all the way. You know, Patrick did piss me off a little bit because he's kind of looking like a puppy, like, pick me, pick me.
He's needy.
Patrick is the pick me of the season. I give you that, okay? But daggone it, Anna. Sorry about that. Not even sorry about that.
She really tried to turn it around on him. But you didn't choose me anyway. What were we supposed to do? Just leave? And then try to find you or something? Would you accept him? I don't think so. You don't act like it. So what's the issue?
She barely smiled at the man like he left her in the pod looking like a fool saying hello.
She really tried to flip it on him. That was fun. I was like, is she doing this? You left. And y'all was in a competition together. He stayed in the pods and quote unquote built a relationship more with Casey to the point he finally proposed.
Right. He said, I was ready to propose to you on that day. Yeah. But you left.
She was no one. She left. So what am I supposed to do?
She should be more mad at herself.
Honestly, she probably is, but she's just trying to deflect. She's trying to deflect that energy onto him instead. Like, you left. And she knows how it looks. She left. She abandoned him up in there.
She gave I couldn't give a god dang. It gave I'm seeing you now and it makes no difference. I'm glad I left and you should have left too. But whatever, I'm going to throw it in your face, even though I'm the one that left you high and dry with no note, no forwarding address, no nothing. But I'm showing up mad.
And you had all this, you similarly got all this smoke for Patrick, but you ain't had enough for Blake. And he left.
We didn't even know if Blake caught up with her.
No.
Did Blake even try?
No, he was there. He was just like, and so what?
But did Blake even try to reach her on the outside? I didn't see Blake at the mixer.
He wasn't at the mixer?
I didn't see Blake at the mixer.
You know what? If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. Because I thought he was there.
I didn't see Blake, but I could be wrong. I did not see him at the mixer. But I'm sure they would have put Anna to sit down with Blake if they didn't.
No, they should have. Yeah. Well, technically, when the episode ended, the mixer's not over, is it?
Technically, it didn't. Alicia says she didn't see him. All of them look alike to you, Trey. Now, come on now.
I might have confused him a second for Brennan when Brennan walked in.
Now, D. Brown, I understand y'all may put Patrick in the same vein as Nick, but Nick, you know that, hey, you love me, and then you all of a sudden you propose to somebody else. But hey, I couldn't propose to you because you left. I had two options.
Exactly.
Just like Anna would have two proposals to choose from.
We're on a show. You know, unfortunately, I know they try to tell us to treat it like real life, but it's not real life. You're on a show where you have to figure out between what connections do you want to go forward with. She had options. Her main option left, so she decided to leave. You know, he had two options. She was his main. He decided to go with his second option. So I understand.
just that moment to go to Africa, it was Patrick was a, for someone who rejected him and left, I didn't like Patrick kind of looking like he was begging Anna to pick him.
Yeah.
I understand how someone could transfer that quickly, but that is the name of the show. He had two options. He was dating multiple people. They're dating 3 people till the end. And I do understand it would make for wonderful romance if when I leave, you leave too. Like how Matthew left, the same AD and Clay season, the same Jimmy and Chelsea season. When Matthew left, when Amber left, Matthew left right after. I think that's what we're probably looking for.
Because she was his only main option he was looking at. So after she left, he was like, you know what? There's no reason for me to stay. Well, after she made her choice, there was no reason for him to stay. So you're like, I'm going to be out.
Right. And yes, they did say they talked to each other, but I'm talking about in reference to that mixer at that time. I want to know how long did it take, and did she talk to him before or after that mixer? But Anna, I was for the bin, total in the bin. It was her behavior, her attitude was trash.
She was very nice.
She's the one that ran off.
She's very nice, nasty with him. I was like, yo, like, you the one that ran out, but you try to make it like it was his fault or something.
Right.
Like, who does that? Like, for real, who does that? You left, okay? And he decided to stay and exercise and see if he had something going on with his second option. Just like you could have. When Blake left, you had an option to stay and exercise your relationship with Patrick, but you didn't because Blake left. That's how I'm going to take it. Your number one left, you was out. He should have been doing the same when obviously he was your number 2. What sense did this make? That makes no sense to me.
Right. You didn't have the decency to say goodbye. Leave a card, leave a note. If it's going to be, troubling to you to actually talk to the person, then leave a note.
Yeah. She just could say, you know what, I can no longer be in this process. It's not going to work for me. I realize that I'm not ready to be in something like this. That would have been fine. There would have been no arguments about none of this. But no, you just bounced without word. You just left. But you want to be upset because he didn't leave. Okay, if he would have left, then what? Let's say Patrick would have left when Anna left. Are you trying to tell us that you would have gave him the time of day? Because it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, we know she left first and then Blake left. We know that. And Blake did not make it seem like he going chasing after Anna the way Matthew made it seem like he was going after the other girl. Anna left of her own accord. And then Blake is like, I need more time. I can't do this. It's giving. We recruited him that he didn't want to be here. A lot of them. I'm glad they showed that Patrick, probably the only dude that probably applied. I don't know. Okay.
A lot of them are like that. I'm noticing.
Yeah, but and that means they're ready. Or it could mean it's a good indicator. Okay.
Yeah.
I have no sympathy. I was done with Anna after this scene. It was no sympathy, like not even a, sorry I left, man. It became too much pressure on me. I didn't like it that you went and proposed to somebody else, but it was very defensive. How could you like me that much? You went and got engaged to somebody else. Look how that happened.
It seemed like she wanted to lord it over his head because Casey left him.
Right.
Right. Whoa.
This is a clear indication not to settle for number 2.
Man.
Patrick, it didn't work for you. We don't know if it's going to work for Megan because Blake was. I need to see Blake's dates, because why is it Megan and Anna? Blake is number 1, and there was another lady that said Blake was her number 1. What was
Blake saying? They didn't really show Blake that much. Like, he really wasn't saying too much in the prize like that. So I'm like, okay, what are y'all seeing?
And Blake is a boring accountant.
Well, he could have been that boring to them. They was gonna say they left out. They must have left out whatever he was saying to them. I don't know. It's weird
It
because
was
he was
weird.
the top spot for a good many of them. I'm like, okay,
Well, we did the longest we saw Blake was when he was chatting with Anna, and they
yes,
had their date. I love that's my favorite date of all time in Love Is Blind. They were having that s'mores date, that camping out, camping date. That was it.
and we saw him a few times with Megan. I remember those, but besides that, I'm like, okay. Even the dates he had with Megan, they didn't seem like they were talking about much.
Right.
Or nothing really happened, and it was just okay.
Alicia, she was there for a moment, and we appreciate her being there. Okay. Okay, Anna doesn't seem to think before she does something. She just reacts. Oh, good thought, Munira. She didn't tell her parents that she was on the show. Her parents must have been annoyed she was gone for days without contact. And that could be it. If she's used to talking to her parents constantly, and then all of a sudden she is without contact and she hasn't talked to her mother in days, she knows her phone is blowing up. Or production could, who has her phone could be like, Anna, your phone is blowing up. We're going to have to give you a moment to contact, and then she decided to leave. We don't know. We don't know the events, but it's interesting to me that they allow Anna to just leave with a byline. They could have let Blake just leave with a byline, but they showed us Blake being told she wasn't there, and they showed us Blake deciding to leave. So again, they could have showed us the moments with Anna. They showed us Casey saying she's not attracted to Patrick and it ain't gonna grow. They're choosing what to show us. And I want to know why they were protecting Anna.
I don't know. I said I was going to say this as a joke, but I almost felt like her parents would get back close to call the Popo. I did. Somebody just said parents called Popo like, yeah, if you talk to your mama every day, whatever, then all of a sudden she don't hear from you, especially Asian mom. They don't hear from you. Yeah, they calling people, calling everybody, all her friends that they know of, tracking people down. Yeah, it probably could have got a little behind the scenes. It was like, you know what? We can't have this. We can't have
and,
this.
with people being scared of their children, especially their daughters, disappearing. We don't know what's happening in Denver. Okay, isn't something happening right now? If y'all check the news of Houston, there's some alarming things happening with people not being around. So Anna's mama, if this is what Anna did, I can see. Yes, Cheryl Davis, her mama putting out a missing persons. And production is like, you got to go. Even if Anna decided not to stay, I would have still liked to leave a note for each of the men. Or, we don't even know who her third option was. But it is like, yeah. They put out an APB on Anna. They realized she at the hotel. The Popo showed up at the hotel, and they're like, Anna, you got to go.
You caused too much issues, girl. Too many issues.
Too many issues.
Got a Popo out here. There's too much. Too much.
But that kind of wraps up till the mixer. Was there anything else in this group of episodes you wanted to point out? Because we gotta have the bachelorette parties. We gotta try on our outfits and suits, and then we gotta have weddings.
I still think we gotta get. How many episodes are left? 3.
Yes.
I still think we got
episodes. I think it's 2 episodes coming up.
It's only 2? Ooh, that's a lot to fit in.
Is it? Well, it might be 3. You talk, I'll check.
I think we still gotta finish up what happened at the Mitsu, because like I said, the Mitsu was still going when the episode ended. So I think we got to get the tail end of the Mitsu if they decide to do it. Probably a few conversations here and there, and then very soon they're gonna jump right into the fittings for the dresses and suits and everything. So that's probably what's gonna happen next. But yeah, we're gonna probably get the end of the Mitsu. We're gonna get some arguments, probably some conversations between some couples. A little bit of argument. Got to sell that drama, and then they're gonna go straight to the wedding dresses.
It just
Yeah.
may be.
The only thing catastrophic I can say may happen, I don't know. It's for some reason I feel like it's between Joe and Nick if anything catastrophic might happen. Like, you know what, somebody just done with everything and it didn't want to continue forward. It'd be Joe and Nick.
Only 2 episodes, 10 and 11 are on October 15th, and then one episode, episode 12 on the 22nd. I'm
Okay.
guessing is a reunion. I'm not sure.
So
But 22nd is a Wednesday. That could be just the weddings.
wow. Why only do 2 and 1?
And then the reunion, I don't know, because as you said, it'll be a lot to pack in just 2 episodes, because we haven't met Madison's family and they're coming.
Usually, yes. Usually the weddings at least go over 2 episodes, don't they? Usually, just about.
Once it's more people, I mean, once it's more people, it sounded like we're dropping like flies if we only have one wedding episode.
That's what that's why I just said that if anything catastrophic happens, I can only see it between Joe or Nick if they be like, nah.
But remember, we start a wedding at the end of the previous episode, and then we finish the wedding. So they could fit in, they could fit in 1, 2, 3. We have 5 couples. It could fit.
You know what? I'm forgetting about Edmund and KB. I can see that dropping before the wedding even get there.
No, we see her in her wedding gown and her veil on her wedding day.
Down the aisle,
what we do see is Joe running to the car. We do see Joe running to the car. Yeah, we know the weddings take place after, but it's only gonna be two episodes this week. So y'all, I'm gonna just do one recap of those 2 episodes depending on what's going on, because it's gonna be shopping, it's gonna be bachelorette party. It ain't gonna be too much. But then the wedding's the following week, and then we have to have a reunion.
And reunions usually happen on a Sunday. They like to
right. I'll probably do a live watch of the reunion again. Y'all, please tell me if y'all want another live watch party. So there's going to be a runaway person, but a groom instead of a bride, like Brazil. I don't know. We just saw Joe, like he can't take this, and he briskly walking.
I thought they teased that when this season first started. They teased that.
Yes, they teased it. We don't know.
Be the runaway.
He could be.
KB. But it's still
I don't see KB running away. I see KB being very statuesque, looking wonderful in her gown, and going up there, and this is just my opinion, putting on a performance.
Saying no. No performance saying no.
Right, a performance saying no. Or she could be a performance saying yes and he say no.
That would be nuts. That would be nuts.
I can see it though. Nothing right now says he will be a no. He keeps on telling her he's going to be a yes. Yeah. But if you don't start saying nice things to me during the day, I may be a no.
Something drastic would have to happen more for me to say he's going to say no.
Well, she already said, don't talk to me. She already embarrassed him in front of everybody when you're trying to have a little good time and say, I love you.
I would say what happened at that mixer could be, but his reaction didn't give that. He was so hard trying to smooth things over. I love you, as you just shutting it down. We haven't seen Edmund completely fed up yet.
No. But will he ever be? Has Edmund given you the thought that Edmund would ever be I need to stop and I need to let this go? He seems like he holds on tight to things that he wants.
That's what gives me the feeling too. He's a grasper. He's a hold on for dear life. So yeah, I don't know.
Unless he playing in our face, we never know. And if you all go check out Jesse Wu's recap, She said she was contacted by a cast member that say he might be playing in our face.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Ain't enough for me to be playing in anybody's face and putting myself out like that. But y'all realize the play. AD and most of the ladies have been out doing interviews already. Okay. I've not seen a Jordan. I did not see Megan. Y'all tell me if I'm incorrect. I haven't seen Megan out here. I haven't seen Jordan out here. I have not seen Joe or Anton out here. And I daggone sure have not seen Edmund out here interviewing early o'clock.
I think Megan speaks volumes.
Right. And also, who was it? Oh, I'm sorry you missed us, High Vibe. Yeah, catch a replay on this one. We had technical difficulty on the other one. You've seen Joe. Joe was on TMZ, I know, but it's not the People magazine. It's not on AD's, channel. It's not on the podcast everybody else is going on. And I'm thinking Joe may be getting a slap on his hand for going to TMZ, because that ain't where they let their people go. That certainly ain't where they let their people go. I haven't seen Nick and Anna. I have not seen where the permission slips have been going to, but Edmund certainly has been quiet. KB is right now all over her Instagram. I think she's going to take over for AD on her show while she is on leave. That's just my thought.
And listen, I was about to say something. We know how this show likes to try and skew certain things towards a certain set for reasons, right? I don't know if I would be, if all of a sudden everybody's been viewing this. You see how the comments have been going for a particular couple, this, that, third. And all of a sudden, you get a phone call from the castmate saying, "Oh, you know what? I don't know. It might not be what you're seeing. People could be playing in your face." I don't know how much I trust that. That's just all I'm gonna say.
Right.
Don't know, because it seemed like damage control to me.
And speaking of damage control that somebody may need to have, Casey says she's keeping the ring.
Yeah. Oh, we ain't talking, man.
Casey is keeping the ring. Patrick asked for it back, and Casey said, "You are not the only one suffering here. So I'm keeping my ring."
I want to see them part 2 on one of these court TV shows. Let's go ahead and do it.
Well, Netflix paid for the ring, isn't it?
Which y'all gonna let her keep it? What's up, Netflix?
You let Jackie keep hers.
Well, okay. You know what? That does lead me back to the question, which was weird when a couple episodes ago where Anton was like, "I spent this much on that ring, blah blah blah." I was like, "Did you? I thought Netflix bought these rings."
So that's why.
Who's buying what now? What's going on here? I need some clarification.
Munira said the participants have to pay. I've heard differently that the show sponsors it, just like the wedding dresses are at a certain price point if you choose one there, or you can provide your own wedding dress, which a bride did. There was a bride in Argentina that provided her own wedding dress, if my memory serves me. But maybe Patrick paid for it.
Maybe they going in the percentage wise on it, we'll pay for half of it or something.
But what if she ain't kept the ring for 2 hours, Trey?
I know she shouldn't have it. Period. Regardless of what we're talking about here, she shouldn't have it. She should get that back.
If I ain't attracted to you, I ain't attracted to your ring.
She should get that back. Seriously. If you don't give it back to him, you go tell Netflix, go collect it, please. We're gonna need that back.
She didn't even wear the ring for 24 hours. I have a problem.
She's not the only one suffering. What are you talking about? Suffering for what?
Well, as Tanya C says, Casey suffered because she was matched with someone she was not attracted to.
What? That's the premise of the show. That's always the risk you run.
Is love blind?
Exactly. That is the premise of the show. There is always a possibility that you could be matched with someone that you might not be attracted to. The question always is love blind? Can you fall in love with the person sight unseen? That's the whole point of the show.
She fell in love with a ring sight unseen.
That doesn't give you the right to hang on to that. Because honestly speaking, the main reason why I heard a court judge do this before in real life. But there was a whole court case about it. The ring is supposed to be a promissory gift for marriage. If the marriage doesn't happen, technically the ring should go back. The promise is broken.
Right.
And when you go to even small claims court, a lot of times they're gonna fall unless something strenuous like he left you, embarrassed you, you know what I'm saying? Like if he broke it off, say for instance, or whatnot. Yeah, in a lot of those cases, you will be allowed to keep the ring because he broke it off. He's the one that broke the promise of marriage. But if you broke it off, like we all know she did, we all know she broke the one that broke that off. Nah, boo boo, you got to get that back.
Okay, who pays for ring on
Africa? It slightly varies by state, but for the most part, that is it's the general consensus of most states, but it does depend on the situation. It will vary by state. It really depends on the situation, and usually it does boil down to who broke it off. If he was the one that broke that off, yeah, in a lot of cases you will be allowed to keep the ring, even if it goes that far to court. If it has to go that far to court.
Okay. Here's an interview, and I will post it. This is an interview on Cosmopolitan. It says this was October 10th, 2025. Actually, dang, yesterday. Do Love is Blind cast members get to keep the engagement rings is the title of it. And it was an interview from someone, I guess someone from production.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they asked, do they get to keep the ring? They say, we supply them with rings, and at that point, those rings are theirs. Show creator Chris Colleen told Entertainment Weekly. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They never have to give them back if things don't work out.
Mm-hmm.
This is a quote from him in the article. It goes on to say, they're their rings. If they want to say that they paid for them, then that's up to them. They can say whatever they want. In other words, production gives you the ring is yours to keep, even if you split up the next day, like Casey and Patrick. That said, this doesn't mean that season 9 Anton was lying when he said he spent $5,000 on Allie's ring. According to Chris Colleen, we're going on again. Cast members typically are given an array of rings to choose from between $3,500 and $5,000, but they can request to upgrade their rings. Though the details of the process are murky, we have nothing to do with that. We give them rings and they do what they want. So it's possible that the production could have paid for Allie's engagement ring, but Anton added up to $5,000 in upgrades to that ring.
Okay.
That is from Chris Colleen in the article in Cosmopolitan, citing an Entertainment Weekly article. This Cosmopolitan article was yesterday.
So basically, production have washed their hands of it.
Right.
want that ring back, you have to go hit her up for small claims court and deal with it that way, and see how it falls.
So she can keep it. Is it in bad form? It is in bad form. The other thing I will say, gentlemen, for you to be aware of, I'm sorry, ladies, I'm going to hip them up on game. If you give a ring during a holiday or special event, it is considered a gift. So if you propose on Valentine's, Christmas, New Year's, it is considered a gift. Christmas, it is considered a gift. And you cannot get a gift back.
Even on birthdays, ain't it?
Even on birthdays. If it is a special occasion, it's a gift. Even though some people on here like to repost shoes on occasion, it is a gift.
I never give it on the day of.
I know. I understand. I know. I heard you. I listen well to your stories, Trey. I listen well to your stories. But yes, free ring, free wedding, free honeymoon, and bachelor parties. I wish I could get married on the show. Hey, Tanya, see, you can join. You can certainly join the show, Tanya. See, hey, if Brazil is and I'm not throwing any shade. I don't know the age of Tanya C. I'm just putting it out here, okay? If they can do the same on Brazil for the over 50 group, age is no longer a barrier, okay? Age is no longer a barrier, especially I would love to see a US version of Love is Blind over 50. I don't know what town I'd like to see it. Oh, congratulations, Tanya C. You got married 2 weeks ago in Vegas. Congratulations. Awesome. It's quite a journey. It's quite a journey, I will say, but it's worth it. Congratulations, y'all. Please give your congratulations in the comments and in the chat to Tanya C. for getting married. You're going on your honeymoon on Thursday. Wow. I hope it's not to Mexico. I hope you ain't taking the Love is Blind route. I'm just kidding. That congratulations to you both. That's awesome. But I understand what you mean by I totally understand what you mean by you wish you got everything donated by the show.
Heck, you know what? If you were smart, you probably could have got, if you could have convinced your husband to be, hey, how about we both sign up for the show? And then, see, we can both get, picked up by the show. And then we just meet each other in the pods, act like we date each other, blah, 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 and have a free wedding.
You trying to be Uche and Lydia? She's going to Greece. Awesome. I've been following now an African-American couple and their kids, 3 kids that have moved to Bulgaria, which is right next door to Greece. So wonderful. Enjoy it. Yeah, I wish the show paid for it. I really do. Y'all, Tanya C does say thank you. Oh, that's awesome, Tanya C. I'm happy for I love young love and new weddings and all that. Y'all went to Vegas. I know Vegas, I'm assuming Vegas is cheaper if you just drove up. If you just drove up to the chapel and the drive-through. I know this ain't Tanya C. I definitely want, I already told Mr. L. Sid I would love to do that for our 10th anniversary. Okay. And that'll be in 2 years' time. I really would like us to just go to Vegas, and I don't need an Elvis, but I want to roll up to the good old drive-through of the Whitechapel. Good old drive-through.
Ooh, did you guys do like they did on Think Like a Man 2? You have a little destination wedding, and it's at a little thing, and it's at a certain time. Everybody got to make it, but y'all got caught. They got sent to jail and didn't make it in time for this morning and stuff like that.
No, Tanya C is here on the chat, so no, nobody was incarcerated during that wedding. No, Trey. Sorry.
No, they could have got out of this morning.
I don't want an Elvis. I refuse. Elvis is not a good person in my book. So I will not. But then again, I will not. I do not like SK. I do not.
Wait,
I'm not doing an Elvis.
Who would you rather have officiate? Michael Jackson looking like or Prince looking like?
Prince. All day, every day. There ain't no question. At the era when it was Prince or Michael Jackson, was Prince all the way.
I ain't mad at it.
I will go and get baptized in Lake Winnetonka. I mean, what are we talking about, Trey? are we talking
Watch
about?
this filet manataka.
What? Right, right. Thank you. My people are here. Oh, Tony C said MJ for her. Okay, well, you
I
still
would
our
choose
people.
Prince. I would choose Prince, actually. I want to see him float in.
He don't need to float in for me.
No, it's
He just
Prince.
needs
He
to
has
be.
to float in. It's
He,
Prince. We've all heard the stories. He floats as he walks. I want to see it.
I need him to ride up on his motorcycle. Okay, I need
That
that
too.
scarf. I need that white scarf around his
Wearing the
neck.
purple suit. Purple suit.
Yes,
Gotta have a purple suit.
yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Playing the song in the background, but when he walks up, he has to float up. We are gathered here today.
What? Dearly beloved. What? You better start that song, Dearly Beloved.
So he in with, you know, like.
Hey, I will be baptized in Lake Minnetonka for hey. I was not mad at her. I knew it was not the proper lake when she did it, but I was not mad at her for just jumping in the closest body of water. Not mad at it.
Wait a minute. I kissed Prince once for about 5 minutes. We're
Motown investor.
We're gonna need some explanations. I don't understand. What's going on here?
Why do you need to understand? She said what she said.
Okay. Did he cool? And what kind of pants did he have on?
Did your curls curl up? Here's my thing. I was disappointed when I was grown enough to see Prince in concert, and he wasn't singing the Little Nickies of it all. Okay, he wasn't singing the Little Nickies of it all.
Oh my!
Now, Motown investor is a lady of a particular age. Okay,
oh
she's a lady of a particular age. So if y'all believe Prince was that basketball player, you believe he floats, and you believe people were scared of him, I have no problem believing what she said, because there's no reason for a man who wears no butt pants and wears the ladies' blouse and all the ladies are around him, that man ain't suave and got it together and laying it down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. She said, I felt like I was kissing myself. No. That's my karaoke song of choice is Kiss. I'm sorry. So that is too funny, Motown investor. Too funny. Now we know how short you are. Because if you're Prince size like him, yes, Prince is hot. Yes. We know this. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But y'all, it has been a time. Okay. Oh, see, now we're getting the Prince stories. I camped out at the Omni in Atlanta for Prince tickets before the internet. I think they were like $30. I could understand camping out, just Rhonda. I went to I didn't camp out, but I went like way early in the morning at Ticketmaster in New York, because it was at the Meadowlands Stadium. That's when Prince was giving out his CDs for free with the ticket, and he was able to get it counted towards his record sales. That man was a genius. Anyway,
I had a chance to see him in 2008, I believe it was. I think it was 2008. And I was like, I ain't never been to a Prince show. I'm going to a Prince show. I want to experience that. It was great.
Here's where I kicked myself. I was supposed to go to his final concert.
Oh, really?
And I didn't.
He was doing a lot. I
said he'll come back around.
I almost saw him in 2011. He was in Atlanta. I should have went to that.
Okay, High Vibe says she camped out for Sade tickets, and I understand that.
Listen, Vibe, me and you right there. I have always had a thing for Sade since I was a child. I still to this day have. Is it a crime?
Yes, Trey, it will be a crime.
Is it a crime? What? Is mine. What? Listen. I still have Sade Sundays where I just listen to Sade all day as I'm driving. You know?
Okay, Trey. Now, if you have camped out for tickets before, you can certainly put it into the chat or the comments below if you've camped out for tickets or what you have done, especially daunting for tickets, okay? Yes, she is a no skip. Absolutely no skip. Face card will never ever decline either, okay? That woman is being carried by angels, okay? carried by angels. I'm sorry. But Sade, yes, I could give you that. But I've gone, when I lived in New York, I went to a lot more concerts. But I will say, when I did the Prince concert, what I was very, very much loving is that we didn't know at the time that the opening act was Morris Day and the Time. And I lost my voice before Prince even got on the stage. I'm sorry. Morris Day, that's just like, Cameo. It's just like, I'm sorry, Morris Day and the Time to start off. I felt like I was back at the daggone club in Purple Rain. So I was back at the club. I mean, come on, how could you do that to me? I thought it was going to be a DJ or somebody I didn't know. Like when I went to TLC's concert was Christina Aguilera before anybody knew her. It was still a little genie in a bottle. And I'm like, you going to bring out Morris Day and the Time? Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. I'm going to lose my mind. But yeah, concerts, yes, definitely. Concerts are not what it used to be. My kids have not gone to a concert. My kids are not that. I have had tickets to games. I've had tickets to championship basketball games. And my kids are like, I don't like that. So
it's YouTube. That's probably around 2010 is when I really stopped going to concerts. 2011, like regularly, just regularly.
I'm before that.
Yeah, it was because I was like, well, I can watch it on TV and just great.
It ain't the same, but I understand. And because I could go more often. I used to go more often. My office building parking deck is not far from, what used to be the Georgia Dome, which is now Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's not far from where even State Farm Arena is. I could park there and walk to a concert and be secure. It's just, it's just the crowds and the people, and people don't know how to act.
I used to try to go to the smaller venues. Like I'm from a small town, Marion, South Carolina. So we were not far from the beach. So a lot of artists, especially R&B artists, came to the House of Blues a lot. So I went there a lot. Even as a kid, go with my cousins to take me to there, whatever. But yeah,
I go to Macon. I would go to Macon. I thought Birmingham was small venues, but Birmingham was big. But I'll go to Macon. I'll go to Augusta. I'll go to smaller venues, which I prefer, but
yeah, it's more intimate. I remember my favorite R&B artist is Donnell Jones. Like, she just is. And I remember I had a chance to go see him in 99, actually. Right when, Where I Want to Be was dropping and everything. So that was a great time.
Well,
that was a great time.
Trey, you missed it. On Fridays, we have LSIT Unscripted, where we do showcase a year in music. And we did, I believe it was 87, y'all. Was it 87 we did? Members help me out. And 87 was the year everybody didn't have a problem with it. That was one of the few years nobody had a problem with the distinction. Yeah, it was 87.
It was a good year for
music. 87. Most of the members, we didn't have an issue at all with 87.
That was with Whitney. For music. Yeah.
Whitney had some bangers. I Want to Dance with Somebody. Atlantic Star had Always.
Yep, that's a good year.
Whitney had So Emotional. It was, and my personal favorite, ladies, okay, you're going to bed. Thank you, Alicia, for being here. Terrence Trent D'Arby. Don't talk about my Terrence Trent D'Arby and my Wishing Well. That was 87. Okay. Now Sam got a few rocks thrown at her about Milli Vanilli, but we love Sam. We love Sam.
Why y'all throwing rocks at Sam for Millie? In the
Vanilli. We said they don't deserve to be on the chart since they were not singers. They weren't actually singing. So we don't deserve to be on anybody's chart.
Was that a distinction? Was that, because music is music, but is that a distinction? They got to sing?
Okay, so you're in the boat with Sam.
No, I'm just answering the question.
Yeah, we need them to actually be the performers and not be pirating off somebody's, they had a lip sync thing. Oh, Motown investors say, I love Milli Vanilli. Ooh. Multi investor, you got to be here on Fridays to help Sam out. Then, okay, you got to put people watch the replay, Sam, and they gonna know. They gonna know in the replay. Okay. Thank you, Trey. Help me.
I mean, listen. No, I'm sorry, Sam. Listen, if singing is the criteria, they can't be in there. I'm sorry.
Well, we just saying they shouldn't make the chart on Billboard or anyway, but they may be on a chart. We don't know. I have a random thing. I put it into Google, and Google randomly picks a year, and that's what we go with. And y'all members, we do have a member live on Monday. I may make that member live a little bit earlier than 8 p.m. EST, only so other folks can join the membership and can join in. So folks like Alicia who are in France, it's not too late for them. You see, it's already 8:19 and she's off to bed. So I want to make sure that the others can certainly. So I'll probably do it at 5 o'clock. It is a holiday for me. It is a holiday on Monday for me, Indigenous Peoples Day, also known as Columbus Day. But I will probably do the members live early o'clock. You still cleaning off the tomato juice? We'll do a members live early o'clock for the new members. Congratulations, you will be clutching your pearls during a member live. Okay, and
it's not that
bad.
It's
not that bad, but we've been bad, Trey. The ones you've missed, we've been bad. Okay.
Actually, I haven't missed them. I just I'll be in the background.
Oh well, I'm glad you don't. I'm glad you don't step up to the plate. Thank y'all so much for being here. Trey, are there any other words you'd like to give to the people?
Listen, people, we have enjoyed your company this evening tonight. I'm so glad y'all have enjoyed our company, I hope, and we can't wait to have you back with us. With that being said, bless all of you, and I wish everyone well wishes.
Well, good night, everybody. Tomorrow, we're going to have Married at First Sight at noon EST. We're also going to have Unsolicited Advice at 5 p.m. EST, where the man is wetting the bed and his girlfriend is tired of it. Okay? That's just one story we're going through. And the man's pregnant wife is cheating on him with a lady. That's just 2 of the 4 stories we're going to get into tomorrow. But thank you so much. And a members live on Monday. And don't forget Mindhunter on Netflix. Look at the post. We are going to reel it in, talk about it on Tuesday at 6 p.m. EST. Mindhunter. It is a psychological drama, and it is a series about how, before Criminal Minds, how did the FBI come up with these profiles? It's an awesome series, 2-part series, and give it a try, and we'll talk about it on Tuesday. At 6 p.m. EST. But thank you all so much for being here. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place, for the next couple episodes of Love is Blind Denver. Have a good night, y'all. See you on the next one.